Good morning, good morning, good morning, students. Today we are going to start with asset-based accounting standards. Though it is in the schedule, it is given that disclosure-based standards, but we have completed all other topics of disclosure-based standards except accounting standard 3, because accounting standard 3 financial statements, cash flow statement, we are going to see it in the financial statement of companies. So till today, what we have completed AS1, that is the disclosure of accounting policy, AS2, then S17 segment reporting, S18 related party disclosures, 20 earning per share, 24 discontinuing operation, and 25 interim financial reporting. So before starting today's session, first we will quickly revise all other accounting standards, names of accounting standard. Those students who are not answered yet, they can answer it now. So students, I request you all to, those students who have never answered, please raise your hand so that I will ask you names of accounting standards. Okay. So जो भी स्टूडेंट्स आज तक कभी बात नहीं किए हैं, रेज योर हैंड. नीतीश, वेरी गुड बेटा. रश्मि जी, वेरी गुड. नीरू, वेरी गुड बेटा. नेहा, यस, गुड बेटा. बात करके देखिए, यू विल एंजॉय इट. ओके. सर्वेश, चलिए. सो नीतीश जी, यस बेटा, अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 1 से यू हैव टू स्टार्ट. ओके.
सर म्यूट. ओके. गुड मॉर्निंग सर.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर. बोलिए.
आवाज नहीं जा रही क्या?
आवाज आ रही है नीतीश, आवाज आ रही है. सिर्फ एक काम कीजिए ना, आपका जो
सर
हेड माइक हेडफोन
पहले
पहना हुआ है, हेडफोन पहना हुआ है वो निकाल दीजिए.
सर ये लैपटॉप से है, कोई माइक नहीं है.
माइक नहीं है, चलो
सर
स्टार्ट कर
कोई
दीजिए.
हेडफोन नहीं है.
ठीक है, स्टार्ट कीजिए.
सर पहले डिस्क्लोजर ऑफ अकाउंटिंग पॉलिसी, दूसरा है वैल्यूएशन इन्वेंटरी, तीसरा कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट, था ये कंटीजेंसीज एंड इवेंट्स ऑफरिंग आफ्टर द बैलेंस शीट डेट, पांचवा नेट प्रॉफिट एंड इफेक्ट्स ऑफ चेंजेस इन अकाउंटिंग
बस
पॉलिसीज. ठीक है.
बस बस
और
बस
छठा
बस बस. रश्मि जी, 7th.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
गुड मॉर्निंग.
AS7 construction contract, AS8 remove, AS9 revenue recognition, AS10 property plant equipment, AS11 the EP percent foreign exchange rate, AS2 the carpet for carbon plant,
बस
AS13
बस 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 बस. नीरू, S13.
Good morning, sir.
गुड मॉर्निंग.
S13 accounting for investment. S14 accounting for S14 accounting for
Amalgamation.
amalgamation. S15 employee benefits. S16 borrowing cost. S17 segment reporting.
बस बस
S18
बस बस बस. 18 नेहा.
Good morning, sir.
गुड मॉर्निंग बेटा.
AS18 related party disclosure, AS19 leases, AS20 earning per share, AS21 consolidated financial statement, AS22 accounting for
बस.
taxes on income.
कहाँ से हो नेहा?
I'm from Bangalore, sir.
Bangalore. Okay, very good नेहा. रश्मि. Rashmi, are you answered already?
Yes, sir.
You answered, no? Okay, sorry. Rathi Malini.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. You are from?
I'm from Tamil Nadu.
Okay. 23. 22.
AS22 accounting for taxes on income. AS23 accounting for investments in associates in consolidated financial statement. AS24 discontinuing operations. AS25 interim financial reporting. AS26 intangible assets. A27 financial reporting of interest in joint venture. AS28 impairment of Assets,
Assets.
29. AS 29, provisions, contingent liabilities, and contingent assets.
Have you maintained your 100 pages book?
Yes, sir.
Are you doing it in, have you done your revisions on Sunday?
Yes, sir.
What are the criteria for segment reporting?
10%
Threshold limit?
criteria, 25%.
Wait,
75%.
Neha, wait. हाँ, रथिमालिनी जी.
Yes, sir.
What?
There are
10% criteria.
10% for
Of what? 10% of what?
mm,
You are not audible.
yeah, sir. Here there is rain. That's why the signal is not clear, sir.
Okay, 10% of result, 10% of turnover, 10% of
10% of asset.
asset. Yes. Then how many clauses are there for accounting standard 18? How many clauses for AS 18?
Mm. Clause A, B, clause up to E, sir.
Up to E. Okay. Very good. And what is the difference between clause A and clause B?
Clause A,
Okay, I think you have net issue. Students, now it's not time only to revise accounting standards. You should also answer my questions. A and
excuse me, sir.
B.
Am I?
Yes, now you are audible.
Yes, sir. A is clause A is that is relate enterprise that is directly or indirectly controlled. Will be seeing, sir.
Holding and
Controlled or
subsidiary.
controlled by or in a common control. Clause B, it will be defining as
Associate or joint venture.
yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Read 100 pages book carefully on every Sunday. Try to
Okay, sir.
recall each and every concept from 100 pages book. Other students, I already told you to read 100 pages book and you face my all questions. If you are able to answer my questions, I will ask you very simple questions. But if you are able to answer my questions, you will find accounting standards are very easy. Okay, it should not be one-way communication. It is always two-way communication. So on Monday, we'll take 10 minutes ka revision. And those students who are interested to answer, okay, at least they want to see where are they exactly. So you can answer my questions. And if suppose if you are finding any question difficult, you can read it once again. Okay. So जहां पे भी आपको लगता है कि नहीं मेरे से कवर नहीं हुआ तो आप घर जाके वापस घर पे ही हो मतलब वैसे तो पर घर पे आराम से एक बार वापस से रिवीजन करना. I have seen results of face-to-face students versus uh, online students. Online students and some recorded batches students also बेटा but I have seen recorded batches से भी ज्यादा effective online students को बहुत बड़ा फायदा होता है because वो बहुत अच्छी तरीके से ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स आर ऑलवेज टेकिंग एफर्ट्स दे आर सेविंग देयर टाइम एंड वेन एवर दे गेट टाइम दे सॉल्व ईच एंड एवरी क्वेश्चन. तो आई एक्सपेक्ट कि आप लोग अच्छे से इसका फायदा उठाओगे. मेनी ऑफ यू आर नॉट येट अटेंडिंग दिस क्लासेस लाइव लेक्चर्स एंड डोंट गिव एक्सक्यूज टू योरसेल्फ. मॉर्निंग 7 o'clock को आना ही है. Wherever you are feeling कि this faculty we are very comfortable with him, तो at least try to attend these lectures. मैं ऐसा नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि आपको जहां पे भी समझ में आता है, wherever you are thinking कि yes I can understand each and every concept taught by Sanket sir, तो no excuse in that case. You have to attend each and every session. Okay, चलिए. So बहुत बढ़िया. Yes, beta Vaitheshwaran, Ratimalini ji, you answered very well. And next time I'm expecting more from you. Ki you will revise everything from 100 pages book and you will answer each and every question. Okay. Chaliye.
Thank you,
So
sir.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, are you finding these lectures interesting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how many hours you are giving for this subject daily?
After the completion of the class, for writing, I'll be taking 2 hours, sir. After that, for revision, I'll be taking 1.5 hours.
Every day or alternate days?
Maximum every day, sir. If there is some, due to this Navaratri, some days they'll be having puja, so that times alone, alternative days, sir.
So Navratri also celebrated in Tamil Nadu. Okay, properly.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, good. So students, don't give excuse of Navratri and all next time. चलिए बंगाल वाले स्पेशली कुछ भी रीजन मत देना. Okay. How many of you from Bengal? Raise hand. पूजा है. ओके. देखो आज तो पूजा जी सिर्फ एक्सक्यूज तो देने ही वाले हैं कि भाई दुर्गा पूजा है करके. चलिए, विल स्टार्ट. Today we are going to start from the accounting standard 2, inventory valuation. Now we are starting with the asset-based accounting standards. Asset-based accounting standards are very simple. Two important points for recording asset. Two important points. You have to by heart this point. Number one, future economic benefit, probable future economic benefit, first word. And second one, cost measured reliably. Cost can be measured reliably. So one word is you must get the future economic benefits, probable future economic benefits. Now what is probable future economic benefits? If you are doing this hard work for advanced accounting, it might possible that you will get exemption. If you are listening to all my concerns or for all my wordings, so beta, you will definitely get, not definitely, you will probably get 50%, nahi, 60% and more. So probability means what? More than 50% chances that you can achieve your targets. So probable and possible are two separate words in inventory valuation or in asset-based accounting standard. Probable word is very important. What is probable? Probable means more than 50% chances. More than 50% chances. Write it somewhere in your running notes, rough pages. फटाफट rough pages निकालो. सिर्फ लेक्चर को लिसनिंग नहीं करना है. You have to recall also. So write down all this. Noted? So two words. Which are two words? One is probable future economic benefit. And second one, cost can be measured reliably. Cost can be measured reliably. एक ही मिनट. हाँ, चलिए, now let's start. So students, I hope you are able to understand this. Number one is probable that future economic benefit will flow to the enterprise and cost can be measured reliably. So these two words, two sentences are very important. Okay. So for defining any asset, what is asset? Asset means first, if you invest something, you are going to receive some benefit in the future. Okay. So suppose if I have a laptop, I bought it for suppose 90,000. Now that 90,000 gives me earnings of every year, minimum 5 to 6 lakhs. So this is called as, what is called as beta? It is called as future economic benefit from that asset. Okay. If I'm not getting that benefit, don't record it as an asset. For example, rent you paid. Rent is also you're paying. For laptop also you're paying. But what is the difference between two assets and expenses? Expenses will give you benefit for that month only. It is not going to give you benefit in the future. So students, it is very simple. That's our asset मतलब क्या? Asset मतलब जो खर्चा किया और capital expenditure मतलब जिसका benefit मिलेगा. But wordings, you have to understand. S2 ka wordings. What is the wording? S2, S10, S16. Wordings are very simple. Even S13, then you have S26 and then 28. So how many standards are there? So 2 है, 10 है, 13 है, 16 है, लीजेस भी इसमें आएगा, देन यू हैव 26 एंड 28। साथ ही है क्या, देखो एक बार यूनिट 5, हाउ मेनी स्टैंडर्ड्स, टेल मी, करेक्ट, 7
Yes, sir.
स्टैंडर्ड्स, 7 स्टैंडर्ड्स, ओके। एक महीना जाएगा बेटा, full 1 month in this 7 standards. It will take minimum 7, means 7 standards means almost 10 days I will need, 10 to 15 days. Every standard 2 days, your property, plant and equipment. 2 I can cover it in 1 day. 19 I will need 2 days. 26 I think I will cover it in 1 day. 28 I will need 2 days. 13 I will need 2 days. 19 I will need 2 days. So almost 14 days का standard है. ओके, सो ध्यान में रखना, मैंने क्यों हैंड रेस किया हुआ है भाई? मेरा हैंड रेस क्यों आया है पता नहीं। चलिए ठीक है, सो प्लीज डू नॉट मिस अ सिंगल सेशन। पहले तो ये बता देता हूं, फॉर अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स बेस्ड ऑन एसेट disclosure standards weightage, if I say it's a 5 marks, then this standards weightage is almost 20 marks. Okay, 4:1 ratio ध्यान में रखना, so 4:1. So students, 7 standards we have to understand in this chapter. Okay, and that's why I started it from today. We will keep a separate session for MCQs. When I will keep this session, yes, I will ask BOS to give me extra session for MCQs. We will take only if you are prepared, then only I'm going to take that session. You only tell me when should I conduct your MCQ test on Friday, this Friday beta, after S2 or S10. फर्स्ट थिंग, हमें रखना है क्या नहीं रखना है, टेस्ट आपको लेना है क्या, सिर्फ लेक्चर्स लेने हैं? यू ओनली टेल मी, यू वांट टेस्ट और नॉट? यस, ठीक है, सो प्रिपेयर योर सेल्फ. I will take your test either on Monday after completion of S10 or Friday, this Friday. तो नहीं तो ठीक है, ये वीक ले लीजिए, टेक दिस वीक, वी विल टेक योर टेस्ट इन द नेक्स्ट सेशन, नेक्स्ट वीक. ओके, ठीक है, यस, वेरी गुड. सो एवरीवन विल बी प्रिपेयर्ड. मंडे को हॉलीडे है वापस से. ओके, वी विल कवर इट ऑल फर्स्ट 3 चैप्टर्स, 4 चैप्टर्स, 4 चैप्टर्स की टेस्ट ले लेते हैं. Yes, and one paper I will assign to you, 100 pages का paper for these 4 chapters, and I will take answer, I will give you answers also. एक टेस्ट कंडक्ट करना है फर्स्ट 4 टॉपिक्स पे. नहीं, प्रैक्टिकल टेस्ट पूरा, सम एमसीक्यू नहीं, एमसीक्यू मैं इधर ले लूंगा. हाँ, 100 मार्क का पेपर, 100 मार्क्स ऑन मंडे तक दे देंगे. 100 मार्क का पेपर रहेगा, ठीक है. यस, चलिए, सो 2 words, 2 simple sentences. Yes, एक बार minimum 4 students will answer it. Ajay Surya, unmute yourself beta.
Yes, sir.
हाँ, tell me 2 sentences for asset based accounting standards.
Probably, and cost can be major reliable.
Probable that future economic benefit will flow to the enterprise. हाँ, one more time. हाँ, probable that future economic benefit. Feb याद रखना, February month का Feb you have to recall. Future economic benefit. Feb means
probable that future economic benefit
will flow to the enterprise.
Will flow to the enterprise.
One more time. Probable that
future Will future economic benefit flow to the enterprise?
Very good. And cost can be measured reliably.
Reliable.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Astha.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. बोलिए.
Probable future economic benefits and cost can be
Will
measured
flow to the
reliably.
enterprise. Will flow to the
Okay.
enterprise.
Probable future economic benefits will flow to the enterprise and cost can be measured reliably.
5 students only. हाँ, Hardik.
Sir, good morning, sir. Sir,
Good morning.
probable that future economic benefits will flow to the enterprise and cost can be measured reliably.
Okay. Next, Pranav. Fadafat.
Yes, sir. Economic future will flow to the enterprise and cost measured reliably.
Okay. Bhumika.
Probable future economic benefit will flow to the enterprise or cost can be measured reliable.
Shahid. Last.
Sir, good morning.
Yes.
Probable future economic benefit will flow to the enterprise and cost can be measured reliably.
Okay. Now, this definition is very important. That's why, beta, yes, Anirudh, very good, beta. So that's why this definition we will need not only in this accounting standard. Whenever you are defining asset, you have to define like this. Okay, asset means expenditure which is incurred in the past, expenditure which is incurred in the past, and benefit will be, you will get the benefit in the future, and that benefit is probable benefit. No one is assured, na beta. If I say ki you are going to pass or not, so you will say, sir, we have done hard work. Probably we can do good in exam and we will pass in exam. Okay, so probably you are not 100% sure. In that case, it is probable. Now, some students are there 100% sure. So result 100% अच्छा ही लगने वाला है. We are going to get good marks. So ये जो होता है ना वो कॉन्फिडेंस दर्शाता है, बट एसेट ये नहीं बताएगा. एसेट विल ऑलवेज टेल कि इट्स अ प्रोबेबल. ओके, सो समटाइम्स ये यू माइट हैव सम एसेट, but it is not giving you inflows. Okay, so in that case we will do impairment test, and for that we have accounting standard 28. Suppose if asset is not giving you proper inflows, so how to calculate your asset value? That we are going to see it in the accounting standard 28. So let's start with accounting standard 2 first. So S2, valuation of inventories. Now, what is the difference between inventory valuation and what is the difference between property, plant and equipment? See, though both are assets, but one is current asset and second one is fixed asset, tangible fixed asset. So inventory, we have a separate accounting standard. Why we need a separate accounting standard? Because it is not in long-term nature. Inventory, you are going to sell it in the future. Okay, so inventory might be you do not have inventory in the future years, but property, plant and equipment you will have not only in this year, you will have it in the next year also. So that is the basic difference between inventory valuation and property, plant and equipment. So why to do inventory valuation? So inventory, when we are calculating on the 31st of March, so we should know exactly at what amount we are going to record it in the books of accounts. That is a cost or NRV, which is lower. Principle we have to understand. And this principle, how to calculate inventory, what is the cost, what is the net realizable value, all these principles are given in accounting standard 2. Okay, so फर्स्ट थिंग एक बार हिंदी में समझ लीजिए, इन्वेंट्री और प्रॉपर्टी प्लांट एंड इक्विपमेंट, इसकी जरूरत क्या है. इन्वेंट्री मतलब क्या? इन्वेंट्री मतलब आपके साथ जो करंट एसेट्स में रहने वाली है. करंट एसेट्स मतलब क्या? आज है पर कल नहीं है, तुरंत एक साल में खत्म हो जाएगी. विद इन 12 months वी आर गोइंग टू सेल इट ऑफ, मतलब 12 महीने में हम लोग उसको बेच देंगे. बट व्हाट अबाउट प्रॉपर्टी प्लांट एंड इक्विपमेंट? प्रॉपर्टी प्लांट एंड इक्विपमेंट ये जो होता है वो आपके साथ 12 महीने के बाद भी रहेगा, लॉन्ग टर्म में रहेगा. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज प्रॉपर्टी प्लांट एंड इक्विपमेंट. साउथ इंडियन स्टूडेंट्स माइट बी पॉसिबल नाउ यू आर गेटिंग हिंदी ऑल्सो, हाँ, आफ्टर सो मेनी डेज, तो आपको हिंदी भी समझ में आने लगा होगा. करेक्ट. सो वैल्यूएशन ऑफ इन्वेंट्री, वैल्यूएशन ऑफ इन्वेंट्री ये जो है हमें सेपरेटली ये क्यों अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड दिया गया? बिकॉज वैल्यूएशन ऑफ इन्वेंट्री में हमें कुछ प्रिंसिपल्स यूज करने हैं, प्रूडेंस कॉन्सेप्ट के प्रिंसिपल्स. दैट प्रूडेंस कॉन्सेप्ट प्रिंसिपल्स वी आर गोइंग टू सी इट नाउ. बट रिमेंबर, इन्वेंट्री इज अ करंट एसेट, एंड what about your property plant and equipment? Property plant and equipment is the tangible assets which are more than 12 months. So that is the basic difference between two things. That is a fixed asset. तो inventory हमें अलग से समझ के लेना है and property plant and equipment हमें अलग से समझ के लेना है. So S2 ने क्या प्रिंसिपल दिया? let's understand it. What is the overview of this accounting standard? Today, I'm not going to take illustrations on this. Okay. Today, I'm going to explain you the difference, basic difference between inventory valuation and property, plant and equipment. भी हम लोग थोड़ा बहुत देख लेंगे. Today is a theory topic. Okay. Today, I'm not going to solve illustration. प्रॉपर्टी प्लांट एंड इक्विपमेंट का फर्स्ट थोड़ा सा ये भी दे देना, आज मैं वो भी कवर कर लूंगा. हाँ बेबी थोड़ा सा. एंड S2 जो है ना उसकी थ्योरी मैं आज कंप्लीट करूंगा. आज इलस्ट्रेशंस नहीं लूंगा, इलस्ट्रेशंस वो लोग घर पे सॉल्व करके आएंगे. ओके तो 10 का स्टार्ट कर दूंगा आज. सो लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड इंट्रोडक्शन पार्ट. वेरी सिंपल स्टैंडर्ड. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू सॉल्व एनी इलस्ट्रेशन. Okay, so for this accounting standard 2, what do you have to do? You will write all these important points, and tomorrow, day after tomorrow, you read from study material all questions, and you will I will tell you how to write the answers. So आप लोगों को क्या करना है, पहले आज S2 समझ लो, कॉन्सेप्ट समझ लो, उसके बाद इलस्ट्रेशंस आप लोग घर पे खुद से सॉल्व करना. ओके, इन दिस इट्स नॉट लाइक S18. आई नो प्रॉपरली when should I take theory plus practical problems and when should I take only theory and illustrations afterwards. So S2 very simple standard. Today we'll take a theory. Even S10 will start with the theory today, theory part of the S10, and then on Wednesday you will write all these things. Till Wednesday, all theory part and illustrations you will take it in the we will take it in the next session. Okay, so illustration part we'll take it in the next session. Any problem? No. तो ठीक है, तो illustration हम लोग but promise करना कि परसों सब लोग लिख के आएंगे all theory part and you will solve illustrations by your own. Okay, try कर लेना सभी illustrations को. When I studied accounting standard, I always told you that it was very difficult for us for accounting standard, but 2 is my favorite accounting standard. When I studied my CA final and inter, S2 is my very favorite standard. But after passing, I understood what I understood S2 in the CA course, it is very different from reality. Okay, so for example, retailers के लिए inventory valuation is different. For manufacturer inventory valuation is different. That I understood after becoming CA. Okay, so S2 actually it is very simple standard. So what is the inventory? First thing you have to understand what is the inventory. So every one of you, and please write it somewhere on rough pages. Inventories are assets held. Definition याद हो जाएगा. Inventory are asset held. Okay, I will do it in the tree diagram, so it will be very easy. So inventory क्या है? It is an asset held. Why you held the asset? Simple. Why you held the asset? Reason one, for production purpose. I will need asset for production purpose. Oh, sorry. First one, it is for the sale in the ordinary course of business. Because I have inventory, that asset I have taken it. Why we keep inventory? Because we want to sell it in the market. Yes, in the ordinary course of business. Ordinary matlab it's your day-to-day business. Ordinary means it's your day-to-day business. But this is a technical language. Okay, ordinary course of business. It is divided in 3 parts. Number 1 is finished goods. Who maintains finished goods? Manufacturer, retailer, everyone maintains finished goods. Then raw material, which is in the process of. So that is a finished goods. In the process of production for such sale, that is called as work in progress. Okay, sir. WIP. In the process of production. In the process of production for such sale. And last one, it is a for consumption. Sir, for consumption means what? It is a consumption matlab raw material. The word is raw material for consumption. WIP word is for process. Okay. So actually, technically, they have not defined finished goods, WIP and raw material. So S2 gives you the definition. Inventories are asset held for sale in the ordinary course of business. What is the sale in the ordinary course of business? It is a finished goods. In the process for such sale, in the process means what? It's a WIP, and we are using it inventory for consumption. So consumption मतलब क्या हुआ? अरे consumption मतलब raw material हो गया ना? So consumption मतलब raw material in the production. एक तो use करोगे और raw material और sale of services. So see, service provider also has inventory. What you understood? Service provider also has inventory and he consume for that. Okay. So in that case, it will be a raw material. Okay. So this is a very simple definition for sale in the ordinary course of business. In the process of production for such sale and for consumption in the production or sale of services. Okay. So definition कौन बताएगा मुझे? फटाफट. Inventory definition is divided in 3 parts. Yes. Who is going to answer this definition? Yes, बेटा आस्था, वेरी गुड. रचना को चांस देते बेटा, रचना को चांस देते. यस रचना जी बोलिए.
Good morning, sir.
गुड मॉर्निंग.
Inventories,
माइक पास में पकड़े. यू आर नॉट ऑडिबल.
inventories
Otherwise,
are.
remove your headphone.
Okay, sir. Am I audible now, sir?
Yes, now you're audible. Huh.
Inventories are asset held for sale in the ordinary course of business, that is finished goods, in the process of production for sale or WIP, for consumption in production or sale of service, that is raw material.
Very good, beta. So, inventories are divided in three parts: for sale in the ordinary course of business, in the process of production of such sale, and for consumption. And whenever you are writing any answer of inventory, and if it is a technical answer that you have to write, not practical question, so beta, you have to write this provision as it is. Okay, so try to recall it in the same way. And here we are on Zoom only because I want to take your revision also. Okay, so participate in the class, every one of you, for sale in the ordinary course of business, in the process of the production or such sale, and for consumption in the production or sale of services. Next one. Now it is applicable to all levels. Sir, inventory allocation level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. अरे कोई भी रहने दो, छोटा इंसान रहने दो, उसके पास भी inventory रहने वाला है. A small retailer also has inventory, so it is not applicable only to level 1 enterprises, but it is applicable to all level of enterprises. So that is level 4 तक ये applicable रहने वाला है. क्या बात है सर, समझ में आ गया. Okay, what is the scope of accounting standard 2? Let's understand what is the scope of accounting standard 2. Accounting standard 2 gives you the valuation principle to determine the value of the inventory. Sir, we know inventory salary, what we paid, we know it from the salary sheet. Okay, rent we paid, we know the rent voucher. But what about inventory? Whether inventory has some voucher or any supporting for inventory? No, beta. Inventory, what is inventory? What we purchased minus what we sold and what we left with is called as inventory. And for that inventory, we have to understand, for that remaining part is called as inventory. And for that inventory, we have to calculate the value. Okay, sir, value, why this standard? Simple. What is the purchase price? Suppose I bought some goods for 100 rupees, 100 goods. Out of that 100, I sold 80 goods. I left with 20 goods. 20 goods multiplied by 100 is the inventory valuation. No, my dear. We incurred some extra cost on that purchases. I bought from Odisha some goods from, or Tamil Nadu. I bought from some goods from Tamil Nadu to Maharashtra. So what is the freight expenses? Should I consider in that inventory or not? Sir, after freight, I need some हमाल charges. हमाल पता है ना आपको कि जो goods को unload करेगा. Unloading charges. Goods loading plus unloading. What about that cost? So inventory, you bought it and you store it somewhere. What about that storage cost? Sir, inventory, we bought it and we used in the production. What about the production cost? Sir, we paid to that salesman to sell that inventory. What about his salary? So all this cost should be considered or not considered. That is a part of inventory valuation. So only purchase price I won't consider. Only purchase price, not only for this standard. Other standards also. For investment accounting, only purchase price is not considered. After that, we incur some cost, and that cost should be recorded or not will be given the guidance in the accounting standard 2. ये fix कर लो. Sir, value of inventory is not only कि आपने जो प्राइस पे परचेस किया है. परचेस प्राइस सिर्फ इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, उसके बाद बहुत सारे खर्चे हम लोग करते हैं. हम लोग क्लाइंट को ये समझाना चाहते हैं, आप ये समझ लो, एज अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट हमें ये उनको बताना है कि भाई साहब, आप जो इन्वेंटरी की वैल्यू निकाल रहे हो वो सिर्फ परचेस प्राइस नहीं है, उसके बाद बहुत सारे खर्चे आप लोग ऐड करने वाले हो, और वो खर्चों का क्या, ये बताता है अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 2. देखो बेटा, साइंस बैकग्राउंड का बंदा भी है ना, हमारा आयास बैठा हुआ है वहां पे, टेक्निकल पर्सन, वो भी समझ लेगा इतना सिंपल वैल्यूएशन है. ध्यान में रखना, उसके लिए सीए करने की जरूरत नहीं है. ओके, सो ये घर पे मम्मी लेक्चर देख रही है तो वो भी समझ लेगी कि इन्वेंटरी वैल्यूएशन क्या होता है. और दिमाग लगा के देखना थोड़ा सा कि ये क्या होगा। भाई मैंने 100 गुड्स खरीदे, 100 गुड्स खरीदे, उसमें से 80 गुड्स बेचे, मैं 20 गुड्स मेरे पास बच गए, तो ये 20 गुड्स की वैल्यूएशन। और वैल्यूएशन मतलब सर सिर्फ फिर परचेस प्राइस होगी क्या? नहीं भाई साहब, आप बिजनेस कर रहे हो तो सिर्फ परचेस प्राइस नहीं होती है, परचेस प्राइस के बाद भी कुछ खर्चे होते हैं। और वो खर्चों का क्या, ये हमें कौन बताता है? ये इन्वेंटरी वैल्यूएशन चैप्टर बताता है। सो कॉस्ट शीट यू हैव ऑलरेडी स्टडीड, कॉस्ट शीट यू हैव ऑलरेडी स्टडीड। कॉस्ट शीट कैसे फॉर्मेट होता है? रॉ मटेरियल कंज्यूम, डायरेक्ट वेजेस, डायरेक्ट एक्सपेंसेस, प्राइम कॉस्ट, फैक्ट्री ओवरहेड, देन फैक्ट्री कॉस्ट, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ओवरहेड, देन यू हैव कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन। और कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ओवरहेड टू पार्ट्स के होंगे, आइदर रिलेटेड टू प्रोडक्शन, नॉट रिलेटेड टू प्रोडक्शन। देन यू हैव COGS प्लस सेलिंग एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ओवरहेड, then you will get the cost of sales plus profit is equal to sales. So your expenses are divided in 6 parts. Your expenses are divided in 6 parts. This is a normal cost sheet. एक होती है comprehensive cost sheet. In comprehensive cost sheet, you have opening stock, raw material plus closing stock, opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. That is raw material consumed. So that cost, what is the inventory? Inventory will never get the value directly from the supporting. Purchase हमें पता होता है कि purchase की ये price है. Sales we know, sales invoice से मिलता है. We can calculate it from the invoices, sales valuation. Okay, sales figure we know. But what about inventory? Inventory we do not have supporting. कोई ऐसा करेगा क्या कि 20 का, हाँ ये inventory, इसका ये value है? अरे value you have to determine. And while determining the value, then what happened in the past, before accounting standard 2, everyone has its own policy to calculate it. Everyone had its own policy. Some businessmen considered, only direct material. Some consider wages also. Some consider production cost also. And there is now there is a need for accounting standard 2. And therefore, institute issued these accounting standards. Whenever you do not have this type of adjustments के लिए amount, you cannot determine the amount, then institute has to come with the new accounting standard, and therefore institute. So you have to explain like this. If anyone asks you why there is a need of this accounting standard 2, so you have to answer, sir, inventory, we do not have any supporting for that. And therefore, to determine the value, we need some guidance. And who has given this guidance? Are Amari Institute na re? Dear Institute has given the guidance. S2 inventory valuation. Now you got the logic? Yes, sir. We got the logic of inventory valuation. Very good. Okay, everyone is clear now? Say yes or no. Why there is need of accounting standard? No difficulty till now? Yes? Clear? Okay, beta. Okay, okay. हाँ, to remove creating accounting. Yes, beta. Very good. चलिए, बहुत बढ़िया बेटा. सो S2 आपको समझ में आ गया कि ये जरूरत क्या थी. कोई भी स्टैंडर्ड आने के पीछे की जरूरत पहले समझ लेने की. Why we are learning this accounting standard. Now let's understand the second part of this accounting standard, how to present it in the financial statement. So where to present it? In P&L, so 11-12 standard we are already aware about. Closing stock on the trading account credit side, balance sheet, asset side, we are already aware about this closing stock valuation. But 11-12 standard, the amount is given in the question. Even in the foundation, sir, amount is given in the question. Okay, in trial balance के नीचे adjustment, first adjustment, favorite adjustment, closing stock value rupees 1 lakh. Then immediately you are recording on the trading account, credit side, balance sheet, asset side, and you'll get the 1 mark for that adjustment. Sir, 1 lakh कहाँ से आया? From where you got the 1 lakh? Every time it is not given in the trial balance के नीचे. In real life, you have to calculate it. And how to calculate? S2 is there. S2 बोल रहा है मैं संभाल लूंगा, मैं देख लेता हूं. S2 बता देगा, मैं बता देता हूं कैसे वैल्यू निकालना है. एंड S2 में ये गाइडेंस है. आई एम देयर टू एक्सप्लेन यू S2 हाउ टू कैलकुलेट द वैल्यू ऑफ इन्वेंटरी. ओके, इजी एकदम. सो प्रेजेंटेशन इन फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट वी आर अवेयर. ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट, क्रेडिट साइड, बैलेंस शीट, एसेट साइड. इन inventory valuation in company's balance sheet, it is different because P&L is not a T format P&L. It is a vertical format P&L. And in vertical format, it is given in the changes in inventory. Now, what is changes in inventory? We'll see it in the financial statement chapter. We'll ले लूंगा मैं, don't worry. वो chapter में लेने वाला हूँ. So don't worry about that. So presentation in the financial statements of inventories, how to calculate it? It is given in the accounting standard 2K. Valuation में rules are given. Okay. Presentation. Financial statement, see 11-12 standard, you are already aware about the calculation. Foundation based students, they are also aware about where to record inventory. In financial statement, it is slightly different because it's a vertical format. Balance sheet asset side will be there same. Under current asset, inventory will be there. But in P&L, we have a different type of presentations. So वो हम लोग देख लेंगे बेटा, don't worry, वो देख लेंगे. What is the exclusion? हाँ जी, inventory scope is not there. हाँ, now see, now from this accounting standards, exclusion part is given in the question. What is given in the question? Exclusion. Why excluded? Because others accounting standards gives you the guidance or it cannot be recorded over here. And that is only the reason they are excluded from the accounting standard 2 ka valuation. My dear students, exclusion list is also very important from practical point of view. Exam point of view, it's okay if you don't remember it, but practical point of view, it is very important. And see, we are going to become chartered accountants not only by reading books, we are going to apply it in the future. Okay, so this has to be, very clear, all these concepts. मैं आपको इतना ही बता रहा हूं कि एक्सक्लूजन लिस्ट होगा या कुछ भी होगा, ये सब याद करने की कोशिश करना. एटलीस्ट एक बार तो भी याद करने की कोशिश करना. हम लोग सिर्फ बुकिश चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट नहीं बनने वाले हैं. ये भाई बुक्स में लिखा हुआ है वो ही याद कर लिया बेटा, ये अप्लाई भी करते आना चाहिए रियल लाइफ में. देन यू आर अ ट्रू चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट इफ यू कैन अप्लाई इट. सर WIP अराइजिंग अंडर कंस्ट्रक्शन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. सर WIP है. WIP, you already told us raw material will consider, WIP will consider, finished goods will consider in the definition of inventory. But suppose if you are doing construction contract, if you are doing construction and you left with some WIP, WIP means some flats, okay, that you are selling. They are not 100%, produced or 100% ready for use. They are in the process of becoming ready. That is called as WIP. But WIP under construction contract. So WIP is a inventory, no? WIP is inventory. But under construction contract, they have given in the separate accounting standard how to value the inventory. S7. S7 हमें बताया गया है. So वहां पे हम लोग करेंगे construction contract. Construction contract. In construction contract, we are going to understand how to do the inventory valuation. Okay. So if other accounting standard considers it, then this accounting standard we will exclude it. Okay. So ये दूसरों का कुछ रहेगा तो अपन कैसे बोल सकते हैं अपना है करके, तो वो तुम्हारा ही है. Suppose if your mobile, I cannot claim it as my mobile, no? Okay, so why? Because WIP is covered under other accounting standards. So S2 बोलता है भाई साहब राम जी की मेरे साथ नहीं रिकॉर्ड करना है, आपको वो दूसरे के साथ देख लेना है. S7 में देख लेना. WIP of the service provider. So service provider का WIP, we won't consider it as a separate guideline. We do not have any accounting standard for this. But service providers, WIP, okay, for example, if I have some WIP, then how to record it? S2 is saying कि बाबा ये provider of services है, इनका WIP आप लोग ही देख लीजिए, हम लोग नहीं बोलेंगे. So service provider is not covered over here. Shares and debentures held as stock in trade, investment. Not S13, S13 will also not cover it. If it is held as a stock in trade, if you are selling and buying investment, S2 principles are not recorded. S2 ka principles are not recorded. Next is producers inventories of livestock, agriculture and forest products, mineral oils, ores and gases. So producers inventories who are producing livestock animals. If he is dealing in the animals, okay, बहुत सारे लोग रहते हैं. Yes, जहाँ पे आपको पता ही होगा कि भाई जो भेड़ बकरियां पालते हैं, तो वो जो है वो बकरियां जो पालते हैं बेटा, तो उनका इन्वेंट्री Abhi in India, we are not giving this priority to our agriculture sector. It is always secondary for us. But outside India, many companies, many countries, they are maintaining their financial statements properly, and for livestock, how they maintain it. So whether they maintain it as per accounting standard 2, not at all. Agricultural and forest products, not covered in this accounting standard. Mineral oils. So whatever related to nature, ores and gases. So is not covered in this. Okay. So producers inventory. In the simple language, producers inventories. तो ठीक है. Sir, I'm more comfortable with you and want to take lectures of costing as like attend Zoom classes. For this, when to join and give me a branch number. For costing and FM now, I'm not taking actually live batch students. We have recorded one and that is also in Hindi. So for branches, you can contact it on that number. So आपको costing classes चाहिए होगा तो yes, other students you can take a benefit of this. तो आप वो branch से ले सकते हो. Because I'm not the faculty which is available on BOS for costing. तो आपको चाहिए रहेगा मेरा costing if you like it, तो you can contact branches. Okay, branch of Pimpri Chinchwad branch, and I'm trying to associate with 5-6 branches of India. तो वहां पे आपको ये lectures very low cost में मिल जाएंगे. They have some cost also because they have to pay me on some remuneration basis पे. तो they conduct some cost, but it is very affordable. Very affordable. For example, 2000 3000 rupees something. So you can take a benefit of that. Yes. Chaliye. So exclusions we have done with. And even I am giving now free of cost all past examination questions. But obvious concepts are not covered over there. But students, you can take a benefit of costing FM. उसका जो भी ये रहेगा उसका benefit भी आप ले सकते हो. कोई problem नहीं. Past examination questions का वो तो मैं freely available कर दूंगा. ठीक है. Measurement part. Now we are going to see measurement of inventories. So yes, scope of accounting standards we have completed. Yes, 4 scope excluded from this. So inventory का definition हो गया याद. You can recall now inventory definition, and this is the exclusion. Have you written some points beta फटाफट? Have you written? How many of you are writing? Tell me. हार्दिक लिख रहा है बेटा. बहुत बढ़िया बेटा, बहुत बढ़िया. कितने लोग लिख रहे हो? हाँ, साइड बाय साइड लिखते रहो, लिखते रहो, सीखते रहो. चलो बहुत बड़े. Yes, very good बेटा. You all are maintaining your notes. 100 pages book नहीं. I'm saying it in the rough pages. So please, at the end you are going to take a revision. How many of you all will take the revision? Yes, revision लेना है. आप लोग लोगे after completion of this accounting standard. आज की revision you will take. I want to see कि आपने क्या लिखा हुआ है. So measurement, running notes निकालो. Measurement of inventories. See, measurement of inventories is very simple. Measurement of inventories. Now, how to measure the inventory? So measurement is very simple. Cost, raw material का जो होता है ना, raw material. Now see, we will consider replacement price in the raw material. I will tell you exactly what is the replacement price. And finished goods or WIP is lower of the cost, or NRV, whichever is lower, we will consider that. See, now what is the replacement price? Try to understand the concept. Very important concept. बेटा ध्यान में रखना, ये concept is very important. See, now finished goods, I'm selling it. I have a production cost of 100 and I'm selling it at 120. I'm selling it at 120, but obviously my profit margin will be there, and accordingly I will sell it. So finished goods 100 का 120 में हमने बेचा. Now raw material in which I'm using this raw material में, in the finished goods production, I bought it at 25 rupees. Okay. And if I'm going to sell it, Means raw material, normally I'm not selling it, I'm using it. But what is the net realizable value? Net realizable value means selling price in simple language. There is a difference between selling price and net realizable value. I will tell you there is a difference between net realizable value and fair value also. Fair value also. So I'm talking about net realizable value. Okay, net realizable value. Now, for understanding purpose, you can consider it as a selling price. So there is a difference between net realizable value and fair value that I'm explaining you at the end. ओके नेट रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू और फेयर वैल्यू में डिफरेंस होता है पर नेट रियलाइजेबल मतलब बेचना सेलिंग रियलाइज मतलब कैश रिसीव्ड व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ रियलाइजेबल मींस कैश व्हिच यू रिसीव्ड सो नेट रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू is what it is. Net realizable value means you are going to sell it, and when you are getting the amount, it's called as a selling price or NRV. So raw material I'm buying at 25 and I can sell it at 30 rupees. See, what is the prudence concept? Prudence concept talks about, suppose in simple language, my expenses are there on 100 goods. Out of this is my P&L account. This is expenses side. Income means sale. I sold 80 goods. So I left with closing stock of 20 goods. Now these 20 goods I left with, suppose these are finished goods, no raw material. Assume raw material is 0. These 20 goods I left with, tell me, if I record it at 100 rupees and if I recorded it at 120 rupees, whichever is lower, if I record it at 100, then my profit will be lower. My profit will be lower. And if I record it at 120, my profit will be on the higher side. So prudence concept talks about you should record your profit at the lower price. Why are you giving a false presentation to your client? Don't show him unnecessary profit. Sir, in simple language, I married to Mona ma'am. Mona ma'am is having, a huge assets. Okay, कहाँ पे उसके मायके में. तो I'm expecting that asset will be, yes, I will get that asset. So that is the assumption that I have, that asset is of mine. No, beta. I won't get it till kya time? Death of someone. Okay, I don't want to tell that. But don't expect something which is not yours. Similarly, this is called as prudence concept. So prudence concept talks about 120 rupees is the higher price. No, not getting dowry, beta. No. Assets that she has. I want that assets. No, that assets are not mine. That is with only father-in-law. Though she does not have any brother, but that assets are not mine assets. Okay. So friends, this is called as prudence concept. Why should I record her assets? No. Similarly, why should I record? That is the anticipated profit. I am expecting that profit when there will be a death of my son, father-in-law or mother-in-law. Okay. Then I will realize that assets. Not today. This is a concept, only concept. Don't take it in the negative sense. तो उनकी एसेट्स मैं मेरी एसेट्स क्यों बोलूंगा भाई साहब? वो एसेट्स कब मुझे मिलेगी? जब वो जाएंगे. तो वो राह देखू क्या मैं? नहीं बेटा, तुम मत रिकॉर्ड करो ना. वो एसेट्स को अभी आपके बुक में क्यों रिकॉर्ड कर रहे हो? ये सब भी हो सकता है मैं ही पहले टपक जाऊं. तो बेटा वो एसेट मैं बोल ही नहीं सकता मेरी एसेट से करके. आ रहा है समझ में? यस सर. सो प्रूडेंस कॉन्सेप्ट टॉक्स अबाउट whatever the lesser price. No, don't expect higher profit. Always expect lower profit. So why should I record it at 100? Because reason is very simple. If someone asks you why you are recording cost or NRV which is lower, because we are recording it because we are not anticipating that profit. We are not anticipating that profit. Remember that. तो हम लोग वो प्रॉफिट को एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर रहे मेरे दोस्तों। 100 रुपए पे ही मैं रिकॉर्ड करूंगा। 120 पे रिकॉर्ड किया तो मेरा प्रॉफिट ऊपर चला जाएगा। अरे भाई साहब, ये प्रॉफिट है ही नहीं। जब तक माल नहीं बेचा कैसे बोल सकते तुम्हारा प्रॉफिट है? कल उठ के खुदा ना खास्ता वो प्राइस नीचे आ गया तो? इजराइल ईरान वॉर चालू हो चुका है, शेयर मार्केट धड़ाधड़ नीचे जा रहा है, बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स है। वन ऑफ द फैक्टर इजराइल ईरान। मार्केट ऑलरेडी ये था, नीचे आने वाला था, करेक्शन चाहिए ही था। तो मार्केट डाउन होने के बाद क्या होगा? प्राइजेस विल गेट लेस। एंड दिस इज ओनली द रीजन कि भाई साहब आप लोगों को ये ध्यान में आना चाहिए, ठीक है? prudence concept, everyone is clear now what is the prudence concept? Because you should not record what you do not have. ससुर जी का एग्जांपल याद रखना। So 120 rupees, I won't record the asset. I will record the asset 100 rupees. Prudence concept, very simple. Anticipated losses will be recorded, not anticipated profits. Don't record that profits, unnecessary profits. Okay. Now, what is the replacement price? Suppose this raw material price is now 22 rupees. Now raw material price is 22 rupees. Selling price and cost is 25. So tell me at what price you are going to record it? At what price you are going to record it? Every one of you. 22? Pakka? No, my dear. Raw material future is in the hands of finished goods. Raw material का future finished goods के हाथ में है. And if finished goods can be sold at more than cost, raw material will not be recorded at 22. You will continue with the cost. If finished goods can be sold above cost, if finished goods can be sold above cost, so remember, then raw material will be recorded at cost only. You won't record it at net realizable value, and this is called as replacement price. This 22 is called as replacement price. When you will record at replacement price, if raw finished goods, if the selling price is 80 rupees, if finished goods is selling at 80 rupees, then it is below cost, then you will record 25 not as the inventory value, but 22 as the inventory value. Reason is very simple. If your finished goods can be sold at higher than cost, it means raw material cost is absorbed by finished goods. They can easily absorb this 25 rupees. Then why should you record raw material at lesser than the 25? Because your finished goods can be sold at higher price than the cost where you use that raw material. तो रॉ मटेरियल को 25 रुपए की ये ताकत रखता है फिनिश गुड्स अपने आप में उसको हायर प्राइस पे बेचने की। तो 25 रुपए तो मैं इजीली रिकवर कर लिया, तो तू 22 पे क्यों बता रहा है भाई? तेरी फिनिश गुड्स के ऊपर सोचने वाले ने क्या बहुत सोचा रहेगा, क्या खूब सोचा बेटा। उसने बोला भाई क्या कॉन्सेप्ट दिमाग में डाला उसने, रॉ मटेरियल 25 रुपीज है, रॉ मटेरियल 25 सर, पर आज लेने गए तो 22 रुपया है। अरे भाई सब पे 22 पे बता, नहीं 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 रुक, ये 25 जिसमें यूज किया ना उसको देख, ये 25 किसमें यूज किया? फिनिश गुड्स में। फिनिश गुड्स कितने पे बेच रहा है? 100 रुपए पे बेच रहा है क्या? 100 रुपए मेरी प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट हुई, 100 रुपए पे बेच रहा है क्या? नहीं सर, 100 रुपए से ज्यादा प्राइस पे। तो 25 रुपए रिकवर हो गया ना भाई, क्यों टेंशन ले रहा है? 25 रुपए रिकवर हो गया ना, तो क्यों टेंशन ले रहा है? तो 25 रुपए पे इसको रिकॉर्ड कर। यदि 100 के नीचे इसकी सेलिंग प्राइस आ गई ना भैया, फिर ये 25 पे रिकॉर्ड नहीं होएगा, फिर ये 22 पे रिकॉर्ड करना। यदि तुम्हारा फिनिश गुड्स का सेलिंग प्राइस ही डाउन हो गया, कॉस्ट के नीचे आया, भाई मेरी कॉस्ट ही नहीं मैं रिकवर कर पाया फिनिश गुड्स का, फिर तू क्यों रॉ मटेरियल को 25 पे बता रहा है, रॉ मटेरियल पे 22 पे बता। दिस इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल. सो रॉ मटेरियल फ्यूचर is the hands of finished goods. If finished goods can be sold at above cost, so raw material don't record it at replacement price. Raw material recorded at cost only. But if finished goods selling price is getting down, तो भैया रॉ मटेरियल को रिप्लेसमेंट प्राइस पे शिफ्ट करना है सर. बट डोंट लुक एट द डिफरेंस. नाउ मेनी स्टूडेंट्स आर, दे आर वेरी कॉस्ट, they are very intelligent students. What they talking about? Sir 100 का 80 हुआ, 20 रुपीज से डाउन, तो ये भी कितने पे डाउन हो सकता है? इन द सेम प्रोपोर्शन? नो माय डियर. इफ वंस, ये स्टैंडर्ड इज वेरी सिंपल. इफ फिनिश गुड्स इज सेलिंग एट below cost, then raw material, whatever the replacement price, you will record at that price. Don't record profit or losses. इतने proportion में change होगा? No. It's very simple. It's very simple that suppose for example, raw material is 100. Sorry, finished goods is 100 and your net realizable value is 99 and your 25 is the cost of the asset, raw material, and 22 is the realizable value. Actually, finished goods is getting down by 1 rupee. So I should record it at 24. No, I will record at 22 only. Okay, so finished goods, if price is getting down, no, so you don't have to see how much price is getting down. You just have to convert from cost to replacement price. You have to shift from cost to replacement price. This is the concept. Don't record it at 24. So 1 रुपए से finished good down हुआ है. No. If down means down, then you have to replace with 22 rupees. It's a concept. आया समझ में? Got the concept? Okay. You don't have to see the difference of prices and then reduce your raw material. No. Amount directly you have to shift from cost to net replacement price. Sir, finished goods 102 and cost 100 है. रॉ मटेरियल का एनआरवी 22 एंड कॉस्ट 25 है, तो इसमें आंसर चेंज होगा क्या? नो माय डियर. यहां पे भले कॉस्ट 100 का 102, अभी इसका क्वेश्चन इज वेरी सिंपल. सर 2 रुपए से ही प्राइस ऊपर है, बट 25 का 22 हुआ, मतलब 3 रुपीज से डाउन हुआ, आपका 2 रुपए ही कवर हुआ है. नो 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 नो, कॉस्ट आपका रिकवर हुआ. कॉस्ट में 100 रुपीज में ये है, आप ऊपर ही 2 रुपया बेच रहे हो, ये ध्यान में रखो. So in that case also you will record inventory at 22, not at 25, not at 22 rupees, because your finished goods is above cost. You can sell it. Your net realizable value is above cost. Okay. Clear, Nitish? Very simple. Having any doubt? So this is, yes, this question will be asked in the exam. Replacement price. Above cost, you have to check. Finished goods are net realizable value is above cost. Say yes. So yes hoga to it will be recorded at cost. But finished goods is selling at below cost. Then in that case, it will be recorded at replacement price. Okay. Sales is not important. Balaji, sales is not important. Net realizable value is important. ठीक है, तो भैया ये ध्यान में रखिए. नाउ कैन यू सी द सेंटेंस? यस, नाउ यू ओनली प्रिपेयर वन एग्जाम्पल. हु इज गोइंग टू प्रिपेयर वन एग्जाम्पल बेटा? यस, यू ओनली हैव टू डू वन एग्जाम्पल बाय योर ओन, एनी वन ऑफ यू. ठीक है, अजय, सूर्या, मायरा, हार्दिक. चलो चलो हार्दिक बोलिए बेटा एक एग्जाम्पल. यस
सर फिनिश गुड्स की कॉस्ट अगर 100 रुपीज है मार्केट में.
100 रुपीज मत ले, अभी थोड़ा अलग ले.
अच्छा सर, 500 रुपीज है फिनिश गुड्स की
we will give this example to everyone. 500 rupees. हाँ.
And sir, it is sold in the market for 450.
Net realizable value is 450. हाँ.
Sir, cost of raw material is 100 rupees.
100 rupees. And net realizable value
and
is?
its replacement cost is 105. 95, sorry, 95.
95 लेना है. So now tell me, what is the price? Yes, every one of you. नहीं नहीं, तू मत बता, बाकी लोग चैट सेक्शन में लिखेंगे.
Okay sir, thank you.
हाँ. Yes, Ashutosh answered it, Nitin answered it. Very good बेटा. चलो चलो चलो, fast. Every one of you. Yes, anyone answer is 100? No. आदित्य सिंह 50. आदित्य भाई साहब 50 कहां से आया रे? 50 कहां से आया? ठीक है, चलो छोड़ो, एक आध दो स्टूडेंट्स होते ही ऐसे. फिनिश्ड गुड्स एट 450 एंड रॉ मटेरियल एट 95. हाँ हार्दिक, क्यों ऐसा बेटा? हार्दिक, रेज योर हैंड. हाँ, ऐसा क्यों?
सर ऐसा इसलिए क्योंकि कॉस्ट AS2 हमको कहता है कि कॉस्ट और NRV जो भी लोअर है उस पे रिकॉर्ड करो फिनिश गुड्स को, और फिनिश गुड्स जिस पे भी रिकॉर्ड होगा उसी के बेसिस पे रॉ मटेरियल को हम रिकॉर्ड करेंगे। तो रॉ मटेरियल
रॉ
कहता है
मटेरियल का फ्यूचर किसके हाथ में बेटा?
फिनिश गुड्स के हाथ में। अगर बाय चांस फिनिश गुड्स अगर कॉस्ट पे रिकॉर्ड होता है तो फिर रॉ मटेरियल भी कॉस्ट पे रिकॉर्ड होगा। अगर
Very
फिनिश गुड NRV पे रिकॉर्ड होता है या सेलिंग प्राइस पे तो रॉ मटेरियल जो होगा रिप्लेसमेंट कॉस्ट पे रिकॉर्ड हो जाएगा।
यस, म्यूट कर दे बेटा। ओके, now everyone is clear with this concept of inventory. Very simple. What happens if net realizable value of raw material is 105 and not 95? You will record it at 100. You will record it at 100 only, lower price. Good question. So should I record it at 105? No, my dear. नहीं record करोगे. You will record it at 100 only. So whichever is lower. Then you do not record 105. हाँ. Yes. तांबेश्वरी जी, मुझे आपका डाउट ही नहीं समझ में आया। सोल्ड एट 95 मतलब अभी बिजनेस में लॉस हो रहा है तो भाई आपको गुड्स क्लियर, आपने कभी देखा होगा ना, क्लियरेंस निकलता है स्टॉक का, माल रख के खराब हो जाएगा, सो ये बेटर है कि कम प्राइस तो कम प्राइस पे बेचा जाएगा। तांबेश्वरी जी वो रीजन होता है, थोड़ा सा लॉजिक ध्यान में रखिए, कभी कभी हमें लॉस में भी माल बेचना पड़ता है। इच्छा नहीं होती है बिजनेसमैन की, कोई भी बिजनेसमैन लॉस में बिजनेस नहीं करना चाहता है, पर बेटा लॉस बेचा ही ना जाए, इससे अच्छा लॉस में तो लॉस में बेचा जाए, ये उसका रीजन है। Many students are attending on YouTube. It's okay. If you do not have range or if you have range problem, then better you can shift to YouTube. But maximum times I will suggest you to attend it on Zoom only. Okay. If you have a range problem or network problem, then it's okay. और जो भी YouTube पे देखते बेटा, एक रिक्वेस्ट है आप सबको को। क्या रिक्वेस्ट है? लेक्चर्स ज्यादा से ज्यादा स्टूडेंट्स में स्प्रेड होना चाहिए, तो फटाफट फटाफट वहां पे लाइक बटन होता है, प्रेस कर देना उतना। चलिए, फिनिश गुड्स और WIP विच इज लोअर, फिनिश गुड्स और WIP विच इज लोअर, तो ये प्रिंसिपल इज वेरी सिंपल। नाउ वी विल टॉक अबाउट व्हाट इज कॉस्ट। ओके, so you understood why we are recording at cost or NRV which is lower, because of prudence concept. If someone asks you why you are recording at lower than cost or NRV, so you have to answer them ki sir, it's a prudence concept, my profit will get more if I record it at net realizable value. मेरा प्रॉफिट ज्यादा दिखेगा और वो मुझे दिखाना नहीं है, वो मुझे दिखाना नहीं है। Then cost. So let's understand the definition of cost. See, in costing you have 6 types of cost. In costing you have, in cost sheet, it is divided in 2 parts: direct, indirect. Indirect is called as overheads. Indirect expenses are called as overheads. And what about direct, sir? Direct, raw material, wages, direct expenses. And how many indirect costs are there? 3. Factory overhead, administration overhead, selling and distribution overhead. So expenses, there are 6 types of expenses. Chalo, one more time. Chalo, raise your hand and answer me how many expenses are there. जब भी मैं कुछ पूछता हूं आपको, वो याद करने के लिए पूछता हो. How many expenses are there, beta Rachna? Yes, beta. हाँ.
Direct and indirect expenses, sir. And under direct, we have raw material, wages, and expenses. And under indirect,
Direct
we have
expenses. Direct
factory
expenses.
factory overhead, administration overhead, and selling and distribution overhead.
One more time.
Direct expenses, direct material, direct labor, and direct expenses. And under overheads, factory overhead, administration and administration overhead, and selling and distribution overhead.
Very good, my dear. So everyone is clear with this concept? How many expenses are there? There are total 6 expenses. Raw material, direct labor, direct expenses, then factory overhead, administration overhead, and selling and distribution overhead. छाप देना ये expenses के 6 type छाप देना दिमाग में. Okay. So now we are focusing on purchase cost. That is the raw material purchase. See, whenever you are buying something, okay, you are buying something, so always remember in your invoice, there will be purchase price. So I will show you some invoices I have. कुछ invoices मैंने record किए थे बच्चों को दिखाने के लिए, फाउंडेशन के बच्चों को. वो हमने इनवॉइसेस के फोटो डाले थे ना रे किधर तो. हाँ, ठीक है, इसमें परचेस वाला नहीं है. बट सी, here you will get quantity discount also, prices, then GST, and then you will get the total. Okay. So suppose this is a purchase price example. So should I record my inventory at 53? We have given some discount, 5 rupees discount, fixed discount. So should I record inventory at 53 minus 5? Or should I record GST by adding it in GST at 50 rupees? And this is how my inventory will be recorded. Suppose if I'm getting credit of this, if I'm getting a credit of this, means I can transfer this burden to someone. If I'm collecting GST from someone, then in that case, it is not out of my pocket. But now in case of hotel bill, restaurant bill, this 5 rupees, I cannot transfer it to someone. And therefore, this is a part of my cost. Okay, this is a part of my cost. So students, I will record purchase price. That is a 53. What is given? 53 purchase price. Plus non-recoverable taxes, 1.2 plus 1.2, 2.4. Plus other expenses directly attributable to acquisition. That is a freight expenses. Minus trade discount. So 5 rupees discount, I will deduct it. Minus rebates. Rebates, duty drawbacks. ये सब आपको आपकी indirect tax की faculty बता देगी. What is the duty drawback and all. So this is a purchase price. Recall it. Purchase price plus non-recoverable duties and taxes. If you are getting credit of that duty and taxes, don't record it. यदि आप उसका बेनिफिट लेने वाले हो, जीएसटी क्रेडिट मिलेगा. जीएसटी क्रेडिट क्या होता है? इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स फैकल्टी विल टेल यू. हुआ क्या नहीं हुआ क्रेडिट, जीएसटी क्रेडिट ऑलरेडी डन और नॉट इन इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स? अरे बाप रे, सेक्शन 16. और तांबेश्वरी नहीं बोल रही है, आयशा नहीं बोल रही है. ओके, इंट्रोडक्टरी क्लास में हुआ था सर, इंट्रोडक्टरी क्लास में हुआ था. आयशा का ध्यान नहीं है मतलब. ओके, सो डियर, परचेस प्राइस प्लस नॉन रिकवरेबल ड्यूटीज प्लस अदर एक्सपेंसेस माइनस ट्रेड डिस्काउंट माइनस रिबेट्स. सो दिस विल बी एडेड. ठीक है, अभी कॉस्ट ऑफ कन्वर्जन, वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट ना, कॉस्ट ऑफ कन्वर्जन. मटेरियल already covered over here. Conversion cost, direct labor, overheads, and joint cost. See, conversion, you already know this word. Conversion means what? Raw material gets converted into finished goods. Logical name, conversion. Conversion का मतलब क्या होता है? Raw material को convert करना finished goods में. तो कितने टाइप के खर्चे आप लोग करते हो? डायरेक्ट लेबर. कन्वर्ट कौन करता है? मटेरियल को फिनिश गुड्स में कन्वर्ट करता है लेबर. एंड ओवरहेड्स एंड जॉइंट कॉस्ट. ओके, जॉइंट कॉस्ट वी हैव अ सेपरेट चैप्टर ऑन दिस इन कॉस्टिंग. जॉइंट कॉस्ट. नाउ आई वोंट एक्सपेक्ट कि आपको जॉइंट प्रोडक्ट के बारे में, जॉइंट कॉस्ट के बारे में पता होगा. इट्स ओके. सो डायरेक्ट लेबर, ओवरहेड्स एंड जॉइंट कॉस्ट. Now, direct labor is very simple, but overheads basically divided in two parts. One based on costing basis, that is a factory overhead, administration overhead, and selling and distribution overhead, which we call that as function-wise classification. And one is behavior-wise classification. Behavior-wise means fixed cost, variable cost, and semi-variable cost. So in costing, their nature-wise means function-wise, and their behavior-wise. Why we divide in costing? Two types of costing are there. One, yes, do you know the difference? Any one of you? When to divide factory, it's like factory overhead, administration overhead, and selling and distribution overhead. And when to divide it like fixed overhead and variable overhead. Any one of you know the difference? आदिश्री, आपको पता है difference? Yes, आदिश्री, आपने hand raise किया है. Do you know the difference?
No, sir.
Why? No.
No, sir.
रश्मि, साई किरण को पता है? No. You want to know when to divide? अच्छा, अजय सूर्या, you know the difference?
Yes, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Behavior behavior is calculated in budget time, like capital budget, production budget, and that time. And function-wise overheads is cost sheet basis, like calculating cost.
I want why you are dividing over two parts. When to divide? Budget-wise?
Budget-wise.
No, I'm not saying कि it's a cost sheet-wise and behavior-wise. When to divide? Yes. ईशा को आंसर देना है इसका. ईशा, हाँ जी ईशा.
Sir, we divided our overheads to determine the value of final product, and other method we use to know which factor affects it, the cost.
ठीक है, I will answer it. See, two divisions are different. Ultimate overhead is 1 lakh. Ultimate overhead is 1 lakh. Total overhead, indirect expense. But when you are calculating cost sheet, you must know, because you are calculating closing stock value also. So cost sheet considers production overhead, administration overhead, and selling and distribution overhead headings. Okay, because in cost sheet it is mentioned like this only. And why we mention like this? Because we have to do some inventory valuation. And inventory valuation, we need only factory overheads. We don't need administration overhead and selling and distribution overhead. So for inventory valuation, we need only factory overheads. And therefore, we have done the classification like factory overhead, administration overhead, and selling and distribution overhead. But beta, when you are taking some decision, that is a management accounting. Management decisions. I will divide overheads, not factory administration and selling and distribution, but I should know that I should recover my variable cost only, because fixed overhead is a period cost and variable overhead is a product cost. And when you are offering discount to your customer, you will think about only product cost, not period cost. Period cost, you already incurred it. You produce 500 units or you produce 1000 units, your fixed overhead you have to incur. But product cost is an extra additional cost, marginal cost, variable cost, and therefore you have to divide your cost sheet when you are taking decision, not in the form of factory administration and selling and distribution, but for decision making, we need bifurcation of fixed overhead and variable overhead. So see the syllabus का नाम cost accounting and management accounting. In management accounting, you have a chapter marginal costing. And in marginal costing, you have a bifurcation, fixed overhead and variable overhead. In accounts, we are not concerned about factory administration and selling and distribution, but while dividing overheads, because we need to calculate recovery rate. And when we are calculating recovery rate, for which cost we are calculating recovery rate? We are calculating recovery rate only for fixed overheads. Variable overheads are always based on the actual capacity. I will give you one example. So you will find it very simple. Overheads are divided in two parts. Here, it's a fixed overhead and variable overhead. See, beta, costing is a subject where you have to calculate recovery rate. And why we are calculating recovery rate? Any one of you will answer me why we calculate recovery rate. Any one of you. Yes, Kiran Mishra ji, bole. Why we calculate recovery rate?
To recover the cost.
नहीं, I want कि हम लोग वो calculate क्यों करते
Sir,
हैं?
to recover
the cost. Sai Charan.
To take decision whether to produce or not, sir.
अच्छा, see, tell me why fixed overhead and variable overhead, beta. Fixed overhead और variable overhead में why we don't calculate recovery rate? अच्छा, variable overhead में recovery rate calculate किया जाता है क्या नहीं किया जाता? Do you have some idea, Sai Charan?
On what, sir? Variable?
Variable overhead, whether we calculate recovery rate or not.
No, sir.
Why?
Yes, sir.
Variable overhead means only if I make, it will incur, sir. But in fixed, it was different, right, sir? I should recover fixed from my variable, my sales, right, sir?
What is the problem of students? You know, beta, I am telling you, all of you, you are not thinking in costing. Thinking problem is there. And therefore, result is very down in costing. See, reason is very simple. I will define in very simple language. See, suppose if I'm running a classes, example, I have to give fixed rent of 1 lakh rupees Okay. Whether 1 lakh rupees I will pay from my pocket or I will recover it from students. Definitely, sir. If you are a businessman, you are going to recover every cost from the customer. Now, 1 lakh rupees what I'm paying, whether I have to inform it in advance to students, my fees, or after the class, I will tell them after getting over the class, yes, this is a fee. So, but obvious, you have to answer it in advance. You have to answer it in advance. Okay, you have to tell your students, you have to pay this much fees. So 1 lakh rupees, whatever I'm paying to my landlord, suppose 1 month ka batch is there. I have to tell my students in advance, students, this is my rent charges. Not rent charges, this is your fees in advance. Why I should give breakup to students? No, ye mera rent hai, ye mera kharcha hai. Yes, that is the fee you have to pay me. Now 1 lakh rupees divided by, I have to estimate something. I have to estimate there are 500 students who are going to attend this batch. So I will charge minimum rupees. How much? 200 towards rent. Towards rent. My notes cost will be 200 rupees. My notes will be received by those students who has paid the contribution. Okay. So I will take a printouts of only number of students who have taken the admission. So this cost is not fixed. So notes cost is always variable cost. And I assume 400 is my variable cost. Assume 400 is my variable cost. 600 will be my expenses. And I will take fees of 2000 from every student of 1 month batch. So see beta, what I want to explain you. Fixed overhead are depending on number of students that will attend my batch is a predetermined cost. I will determine it, predetermine. This is a budgeted. I will have budget. Suppose if students, this is called as recovery rate. Assume only 400 students attended the batch. Can I tell students, my expectation went wrong. Now pay me higher fees. No one will accept, no. Who will accept this? No one. Suppose that loss that is called as under absorption. Now 450 students, 400 students attended the batch. How much I recovered from students? Only 80,000 rupees. Sir, I am in loss of 20,000. Why I am in loss? Because I have not got the expected number of students. Sorry, 550 students attended the batch. I have recovered it over and over absorption it is called as. It is only possible in fixed overheads. Variable overhead, you do not have budgeted capacity and actual capacity. In variable overhead, only and only actual students who attended the batch will get notes and that is my cost. But in case of fixed overhead, I have to budget something. I have to calculate recovery rate. I have to apply it to that students, number of students, and then I will see whether I'm in loss or I'm in profit. This is a predetermined recovery rate. ये ध्यान में रखना. Actually है costing का, पर अभी S2 में बताना पड़ेगा. सर, ये costing की फैकल्टी आपको बताएगी. मेरा काम है accounts में बताना. But I have to correlate both concept. Fixed overhead versus variable overhead. एक बार हिंदी में समझ लीजिए. वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट. ओके, 600 स्टूडेंट्स होते तो क्या होगा बेटा? 1,20,000. मेरा तो बल्ले बल्ले हो गया बेटा. मैंने 1 लाख एक्सपेक्ट किया था पर लोगों से मैंने 1,20 कवर कर लिया. बेटा मुझे एडवांस में ही ये देखना पड़ेगा ना, मैं बच्चों को रिटर्न तो नहीं देने जाऊंगा, ए भाई साहब मेरे 500 स्टूडेंट का एक्सपेक्टेशन किया था, आ गए 600 स्टूडेंट्स, ओवर सब्सक्रिप्शन जैसा है भाई साहब, आपकी तो बेटा लॉटरी लग गई, फिर आपने ओवर रिकवर कर लिया, अच्छी बात है, 1 लाख के बदले में कोई बिजनेसमैन क्यों छोड़ेगा वो पैसा, बनिया नहीं छोड़ता वो पैसा, बेटा उसको एस्टिमेट करना। आप उतना ही चाय बना के रखोगे बिजनेस में जितना रोज सेल होता है, ज्यादा हो गया तो बेटा फिर बनाओ वापस से, कुछ तो करो फिर। ये हर बिजनेस में यही होता है, ज्यादा है तो अच्छी बात है, कम आए तो बेटा आपका नुकसान है। आपने एक्सपेक्ट किया था उतना प्रोडक्शन कर लिया आपने, तो प्रोडक्शन से ज्यादा आ गए, अच्छी बात है, नहीं आए तो बेटा आपका लॉस हो गया, ये ध्यान में रखिए। बिजनेसमैन की कहानी है ये, और हर घर में चलने वाली है। फिक्स ओवरहेड एंड वेरिएबल ओवरहेड। वेरिएबल ओवरहेड का कोई टेंशन नहीं, जितने भी नो लोग बच्चे एडमिशन लेने आएंगे भाई, नोट्स मिलेगा, फोन करूंगा स्टेशनरी वाले को, भाई प्रिंट आउट निकालो, ये एक नोट्स का इतना इतना पैसा होता है, उतना ही पैसा दूंगा। हाँ, यदि मैं नोट्स एक साथ छपवाता हूं फिर वो मेरा फिक्स ओवरहेड हो जाएगा, एक साथ ही पूरा 500 बच्चों का, फिर 400 ही आए, 100 बेटा सड़े सड़े खराब हो जाएंगे, या नेक्स्ट बैच में यूज कर लूंगा, पर उसमें अमेंडमेंट होंगे तो वो तो 100 नोट्स चले गए बेटा, फिर तो यूज ही नहीं है। ये ध्यान में रखिए, हर बनिया, हर बिजनेसमैन ये कैलकुलेशन करने वाला है। बनिया मतलब मारवाड़ी, मैं बोलता हूँ मारवाड़ी लोग ज्यादा बिजनेस करते हैं, ओके, वो दिमाग लगाते हैं, ऐसा मैं समझूंगा, ऐसा ये गलत मीनिंग मत लेना, बाकी लोग नहीं करते बेटा, मैक्सिमम मारवाड़ी लोगों में यही रहता है कि बिजनेस करने के टाइम पे इस तरीके से करना पड़ेगा, और इनके ये नंबर बहुत सटीक रहते हैं, अपने नंबर गलत हो जाएंगे, वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग ओवर अंडर, बट ये मारवाड़ी इंसान जो होता है ना, उसके दिमाग में ये नंबर फिक्स होते हैं, भाई पूरा खेल नंबरों का है, ध्यान में रखना। सो व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस? वेरी गुड तांबेश्वरी, आई एम मारवाड़ी, वेरी गुड। एक तो फर्स्ट थिंग आई वांट टू एक्सप्लेन यू, फिक्स ओवरहेड। फिक्स ओवरहेड इज ऑलवेज, बेटा फिक्स ओवरहेड आर ऑलवेज डेंजरस, वेरिएबल ओवरहेड्स आर नॉट डेंजरस। मैं फिक्स ओवरहेड हमेशा बोलता हूं डेंजरस क्यों, बिकॉज वी हैव टू थिंक समथिंग, वी हैव टू, इट इज अ नंबर गेम। What I am expecting, 1 lakh is a fixed cost. But what I am expecting, how many students will attend the batch? 500. So 500 students will attend the batch. But what happened? So 200 rupees I recovered from one student for rent, towards rent. But beta, actual attendance is 400. Dangerous. Actual attendance is 100. खत्म ही हो गए तुम लोग तो. And therefore recovery rate has to be calculated. But in variable overhead, no recovery rate. Okay? Yes. Sai Kiran ji, you are telling me about economics. You are not talking about costing. Fixed overhead is total constant, variable unit per unit constant. Beta, that is a costing, nahi, economics things. In costing, we calculate recovery rate only because we have to determine in advance from the customer how much I should charge him. मैं ऐसा बोल सकता हूँ कि आपको क्लास होने के बाद, भाई साहब अभी इतना फीस हुआ, मेरा 1 लाख का रेंट हुआ, पर आप लोग 200 ही आए थे, मैंने एक्सपेक्ट किया था 500, अभी इतना पैसों का एक्स्ट्रा पैसा दे देना। कौन एक्सेप्ट करेगा? क्लास खत्म होने के बाद मैंने फीस बढ़ा दी तो चलेगा क्या? कोई देगा क्या मुझे? बोलेगा क्या पागल आदमी है, सिखाने के बाद बोल रहा है फीस बढ़ा के दे रहा है, आप गालियां दोगे मुझे? नो वन विल गिव मी। बहुत ही इच्छा होगी तो 2-3 हार्दिक जैसे स्टूडेंट है, वो बोलेंगे सर गुरु दक्षिणा में ये लो 1,000 रुपए एक्स्ट्रा, वो अलग बात है। पर ऐसा कोई रियल लाइफ में नहीं करता है ना, कल उठ के किसी प्रोडक्ट के बाद उन्होंने फोन करके आपको बताया कि हमने आपको ये माल बेचा था, अभी आप एक्स्ट्रा कॉस्ट दे दीजिए, हमारा तो नुकसान हो गया। कौन एक्सेप्ट करेगा भाई? सो इसीलिए रिकवरी रेट एक्सप्लेन करना पड़ता है। आया समझ में? ओके, एंड वेरिएबल ओवरहेड इज ऑलवेज बेस्ड ऑन एक्चुअल कैपेसिटी। सो व्हाट इज एक्सपेक्टेड? यू शुड नो द डिफरेंस, actual capacity versus normal capacity. Normal capacity of my batch, I expected 500. But what is the actual capacity? Sir, 600 students came. So 600 or 500? अभी देखो, absorb in higher of. So in accounts, in costing, you will calculate budgeted. But accounts is after costing. See, accounts is after costing होता है. So you will consider in fixed overhead. We are going to solve one problem on this. Don't worry, beta. not today, परसों. You will try by your own from study mat. Fixed overhead are calculated on actual capacity or normal capacity, whichever is higher in accounts. In costing, you will consider only and only budgeted capacity, not higher. It is again prudence concept. It is again prudence concept. Why? We will take it in the next class. Fixed overhead. And variable overhead is always based on actual capacity. It is always based on actual capacity. You got the difference? Actual versus fixed. Variable overhead versus fixed overhead. ये costing है, but accounts में explain किया गया है. What about joint cost? We have illustrations on this. So you solve it. Example 2 and illustration 4. Okay. Normal capacity means 500 students. Budgeted capacity. What is normal capacity? Someone is asking. So what is the normal capacity? Normal capacity means budgeted. I expected capacity. Actual capacity is different. बेटा बहुत बढ़िया बेटा, अच्छे से कर लेना ये. ठीक है. और वेरिएबल ओवरहेड ऑलवेज एक्चुअल कैपेसिटी. नाउ यू कैन कोरिलेट विथ कॉस्टिंग. बेटा ये इजी छे. टेल मी इजी छे कि नहीं? पूरा समझ में आ गया बेटा सबको? इजी है ना? कॉस्टिंग मजे रे बेटा, एंजॉय कीजिए कॉस्टिंग को. एफएम एंड कॉस्टिंग मस्त सब्जेक्ट है एकदम, फुल लॉजिकल, एक बिजनेसमैन के एंगल से सोचने का. जॉइंट कॉस्ट मेन प्रोडक्ट और जॉइंट प्रोडक्ट. नाउ बेटा इन जॉइंट प्रोडक्ट बाय प्रोडक्ट we have 5 methods. Now actually many of you have not yet studied joint product by product, but there are 5 methods. Number 1, we have a separate chapter in costing. Number 1 is a physical quantity. Second one is average unit. Third one is a survey method. Fourth one is a contribution margin method. Fifth one is divided in 3 parts: sales value at split off, sales value after split off, and net realizable value. Actually there are 5 methods, but under 5th method there are again sub 3 methods. So वैसे देखने गए तो total 4 plus 3, 7 methods are there. But Institute has divided it in 5 methods. Okay, so separate chapter you have for joint cost, joint product by product. But in accounts, we do not have all these methods. Joint cost. What is the joint cost? Suppose up to certain point, material, labor, and direct expenses are incurred. And after that, there is a split off. Split off matlab divide in 2 parts. There were we emerge with 2 products, product A and product B. Example, red pen, black pen. Up to certain point, body banana, refill manufacturing is a joint cost. But after that, 2 separate costs. Okay, red ink, then we fill with red ink in refill, different body, and then we have black ink and black body for black pen. So up to certain point you have a joint cost. But after that, emerging with 2 new products, it is called as joint products. Now how to divide this joint cost? See, after separation, it's very simple. After separation is very simple. But before separation, how to divide that joint cost is a difficult part. And it is called as sales value at split off. So at split off means here, when they are getting separated. What is the selling price of A and what is the selling price of B? It's called as, in that ratio, you will divide this joint cost. What is joint cost? Before separation cost. And when they are getting separated, at that price, at that time, what will be the value of A and B will be recorded as sales value at split off. You got this concept, beta? You got this concept, sales value at split off? बहुत ही simple है, बहुत ही simple है. And byproduct is called as net realizable value. What is byproduct? Which is not intentionally produced. For example, in case of sugar industry, molasses, मरी, आपने कभी नाम सुना होगा. मरी मतलब वो शुगर के बाद जो चौथा जो बोलते हैं ना उसको, क्या आप लोग हिंदी में जो यूपी एमपी वाले बेटा आपका हिंदी तो बहुत स्ट्रांग है, दिल्ली वाले, हम लोग तो बेटा महाराष्ट्र में उसको मड़ी बुलाते हैं। हाँ जी बेटा नीतीश, तुझे यही सब कुछ याद रहेगा बेटा। हाँ जी, रिसीव्ड फ्रॉम स्क्रैप, स्क्रैप में से जो मिल, और मरी को क्या बोलते हैं बेटा हिंदी में, कुछ बताएंगे आप लोग? वो जो शुगर केन के बाद जो आप शुगर बनाने के टाइम पे साइड में जो रहता है उसको कुछ तो बुलाते हैं ना, हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं बेटा उसको? एनी वन ऑफ यू, क्या तुम लोग यार, क्या तुम्हारा हिंदी? मोलेसेस, हाँ मोलेसेस इज अ इंग्लिश वर्ड, आई एम आस्किंग यू अबाउट हिंदी वर्ड। फ्लैश, गुड़ नहीं बेटा, गुड़ नहीं, गुड़ तो अलग होता है, वो तो बाद में, वो तो इससे बनेगा, उससे ना बेटा दारू बनती है ये मैं बोल सकता हूँ आपको। हाँ जी, मिश्री बोलाते हैं, ओके, भूसा, ओके, पता नहीं मुझे, एक ने मिश्री बोला, एक ने भूसा बोला, ठीक है। महाराष्ट्र में उसको मड़ी बुलाते हैं, ठीक है, जिनकी बोल रहे भूसा ही बुलाते हैं उसको, अच्छा ठीक है भाई साहब, जिससे दारू बनती है। और शिरा, अच्छा अनुज ने अलग वर्ड यूज किया, ठीक है, अपने अपने वर्ड्स है, मुझे पता नहीं है, तो हर स्टेट में उसको अलग बुलाते रहेंगे। हाँ बेटा मोलेसेस जिससे बियर बनती है, यस बेटा साई चरण यू आर करेक्ट। So byproduct is prepared recorded at net realizable value. So this is called as cost of conversion. And what are other costs? To bring the inventory at present location and condition. भाई साहब ये inventory को present location पे लेके आना है. Interest on borrowing cost and amortization of related productions. So ये तीन कॉस्ट आपको याद रखने बेटा. यस यू विल टेक अ स्क्रीनशॉट ऑफ दिस. आई वोंट से कि आपको आप भी लिखना है. से ये तीन वर्ड्स यू विल अंडरस्टैंड, क्वालिफाइंग एसेट and amortization. I will explain you at the time of solving questions. Okay, so other costs you have to recall in this way. We'll take a small break. We'll come back with the net realizable value concept at 9 o'clock. एक हम लोग उसमें ऐड करेंगे, एंड आई विल कम बैक विद द न्यू कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ नेट रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू. नेट रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू आई एम एक्सप्लेनिंग इट इन दी नेक्स्ट आफ्टर ब्रेक. ओके, सो ब्रेक के बाद न्यू कॉन्सेप्ट दैट इज अ नेट रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू एंड अदर कॉस्ट वी हैव कंप्लीटेड. अप टू कॉस्ट वी हैव कंप्लीटेड. कॉस्ट इज डिवाइडेड इन थ्री पार्ट्स. वन इज कॉस्ट ऑफ परचेस, वन इज कॉस्ट ऑफ कन्वर्जन एंड थर्ड वन इज अदर कॉस्ट. अदर कॉस्ट के नोट बना लो पटाख से एंड कम बैक विथ फ्रेश ब्रेक. एकदम ब्रेक के बाद फुल फ्रेश एनर्जी के साथ आना है, एंड नेक्स्ट सेशन विल बी ऑफ 30 मिनट्स वेयर आई विल फिनिश विद द अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 2. थैंक यू. चलिए आ जाइए फटाफट, आयात जी ब्रेक ले लीजिए. 9 o'clock को आ जाएंगे बेटा. अयाज किधर हो? अयाज आ जाओ जल्दी, किधर हो? चलो, let's start. Ayaz. ठीक है. So we have finished till now. Acha, one more time. Now I will explain you this concept. इसके बारे में डिटेल में नहीं डाला है क्या? कॉस्ट इनकर्ड टू ब्रिंग. सी बेटा, तांबेश्वरी आप कौन से चैप्टर में बोल रहे हो मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. 8th and प्रोग्रेस मतलब क्या बोलना चाहती हो? तो लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड. इंटरेस्ट no beta, Aniruddha, today I'm not going to explain you any concept. Illustrations I will take it in the next class. Okay, today I will explain only concepts and you have to do your own hard work. Okay, and then in next class I will explain you the illustration part. Now what are other costs? I will explain it in very simple way because we need this other cost not only in this accounting standard but also in other accounting standards. Cost incurred to bring the inventory to present location. So for example, I will give it like this example. Suppose only purchase of an asset is not important. You have to incur some expenses till installation of that asset. Until that point, any expenditure which is incurred to its present location and condition will be added. समंदर में बेटा जो होता है वॉयज मतलब जो आपके जर्नी में जो एक खर्चा होगा तांबेश्वरी जी वो बोला जाएगा. कभी कभी बेटा तांबेश्वरी गूगल भी किया करो वॉयज का मीनिंग क्या है या बाकी चीजों को भी थोड़ा गूगल भी किया करो. एवरी टाइम डोंट आस्क डायरेक्टली टू फैकल्टी, नॉट ओनली फॉर माय सब्जेक्ट. ओके, कभी कभी थोड़ा सा गूगल भी करके देखो. ईच एंड एवरी पॉइंट ऐसा नहीं होगा कि स्पून फीडिंग होगा. सीए इज कोर्स वेयर यू ऑल्सो हैव टू बी वेरी अटेंटिव. यू हैव टू डू ओन यू नो explanation part जो भी होगा या own understanding by your own or whatever the explanation or interpretation, what we call it as interpretation of the statute. You have to do it that also. Every time don't think कि sir will give you spoon feeding. No. Interest on borrowing related to qualifying asset. So interest means what? Now see, this example is very important. Normally interest is finance expenditure. So normally interest is where we have written this in profit and loss account. Normally. But there is exception. We are going to see it in accounting standard 16 only 4 or 5 days beta. We are going to see this. In S16, this interest is capitalized. Sir, which is the exception? This interest is capitalized if asset takes substantial time for getting ready. Means what, sir? For example, asset. Example में हम लोग लेते हैं asset beer, wine. Wine, you heard that old wine is always very, tasty बोल सकते हो या old wine has its own value. Okay, and old wine takes time to get ready. It is not getting ready in 1 year. It is expensive. Yes, beta, Ambeshwari. So this wine, beta, some manufacturers, French wine. Okay, हार्दिक को ज्यादा पता है बेटा. I am not aware about these things because मैं ये लेता नहीं हूँ. So not aware about this. Only general knowledge. So asset wine is taking substantial time to get ready, and therefore that wine cost, that suppose I have taken a loan for this, then interest will be added. Why? Because this wine takes time to get ready. Suppose if you are a furniture manufacturer and your furniture is getting ready within 3 months, it's not a substantial time, and you have taken a loan. So interest on that loan will be considered in the profit and loss account. But interest on wine's loan, if I manufacture of wine, that will be capitalized. See the difference between two accounting standards. And therefore, interest on borrowing on qualifying assets is considered here. Other cost. Third one, amortization of intangible assets. Now, what is amortization? I will tell you exactly. Suppose if Sanket sir is producing bikes and I have technology for which I have taken patents. Patents of, assume it is only for calculation, 1 lakh ka patents, only for calculation purpose. Only for calculation purpose, I am taking 1 lakh rupees. 1 lakh rupees patents registered with the government. And these patents is for 5 years. And my production cycle requires 6 months, 0.5 years. So I will charge to this production lot, means ये production का जो भी lot होगा, I will charge 10,000. 20,000 per annum, and for half year, it will be 10,000. This amortization cost, this is called as amortization, dividing over years. It's similar to depreciation. Only amortization word is used for intangible asset, and patents, amortization word for intangible asset, and depreciation word for tangible assets. See the difference between two. Depreciation word tangible assets के लिए होता है, and intangible assets के लिए हम लोग amortization word use करते हैं. So I will charge 10,000 to this amortization. So you got 3 points. All 3 points you understood. So depreciation, why not? Means depreciation on what? Yes, I can't understand. Depreciation is considered, no beta. वो fixed overhead में already considered. Fixed overhead में already we considered depreciation of tangible assets. Here, cost of conversion. Fixed overhead is consisting of depreciation on assets. Okay, so that cost is already considered. Other than this cost of conversion, other cost यहाँ पे आया. This 3 cost. Yes. Fixed overhead, what it considers? All your overheads, indirect expenses. Sir, how can we decide the value of patents? No, beta, it is a patent value. We consider it is a registered value. Patents का पैसा देना पड़ता है भाई सामने वाले को, गवर्नमेंट को. So वो मनोज जी वो होता है रजिस्टर्ड एग्रीमेंट में दिया रहता है. How much you paid for that patent registration? तो मकवाना जी वो उधर आपको समझ में आ जाएगा. उसकी ये रहती है एग्रीमेंट वैल्यू होती है पेटेंट्स की रियल लाइफ में. Yes, fees that we paid. Correct. और कुछ questions? See, sometimes you have to stick to your syllabus also. Don't expect more than better. In real life, you are going to do all these things. So sometimes we have to stick to our syllabus because syllabus is very vast. तो हर चीज का कैसे वैल्यू आएगा, कौन कैलकुलेट करता है? डोंट आस्क मी दिस क्वेश्चन बिकॉज इन आर्टिकलशिप यू आर गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड ऑल दिस थिंग्स. ओके, चलिए. सो आई विल मूव टू नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. Net realizable value. Now we are moving to net realizable value concept. For WIP, work in progress. Now realizable. See, now what is the difference between fair value and net realizable value? Yes, any one of you know the difference? What is the difference between fair value and net realizable value? Yes, Rashmi ji. क्या difference? Yes. Rashmi?
फिर एनआरवी में से जो WIP में से फर्दर प्रोसेसिंग कॉस्ट भी लेस करते हैं और सेल.
नहीं. Yes, तांबेश्वरी.
सर एनआरवी के अंदर सबसे कम जो प्राइस होती है हम उसे लेते हैं एक्चुअल और नॉर्मल में से, और फेयर वैल्यू होती है जो मार्केट वैल्यू होती है, जो एक्चुअल वैल्यू होती है. नहीं सर.
Yes. तन्नु. हाँ जी तन्नु. ठीक है, लास्ट चांस टू
सर
तन्नु. हाँ.
सर नेट रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू जो होता है कि हम अगर कोई आज जो प्रोडक्ट सेल करने जा रहे हैं मार्केट में तो उसकी आज की वैल्यू क्या है वो नेट रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू होता है. एंड फेयर वैल्यू क्या है कि वो मार्केट में उस चीज की वैल्यू क्या चल रही है.
ठीक है, I will tell you what is the exact difference. Everyone answered fair value is a market value. That is correct. Market value is same for all entities. And net realizable value is for specific price for that entity only. Therefore, they haven't used the word NRV. But market value might be different, might be same as NRV. Both are possibilities. But suppose if Sanket sir has a skill to sell the product at higher than fair value, then that is a NRV. Or it might happen that Sanket sir wants to sell, he wants to clear the stock, and therefore he is not selling it at fair value, he is selling less than fair value. Then that is also called as NRV. So NRV is entity specific. For that entity, संकेत सर की एंटिटी का ही प्राइस रहेगा, तो वो होता है नेट रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू. एंड फेयर वैल्यू इज फॉर ओवरऑल मार्केट. मार्केट में दिस पेन इज गेटिंग प्राइस ऑफ ₹15, बट संकेत सर ने ये पेन 100 रुपए में भी बेच सकते हैं. तो फेयर वैल्यू इज डिफरेंट एंड एनआरवी इज डिफरेंट. एनआरवी इज अ specific entity based price. Fair value is market based price. Now you got the concept, every one of you. So NRV is entity specific. Yes or no? And fair value is market based. So there is a difference between fair value and market value, NRV. So NRV, write down it in comment section. सब लोग लिखो इसमें, Zoom के comments में. What is the difference? NRV is entity, specific entity, and fair value is market based. Important concept. Now WIP NRV, very good beta. ठीक है, very good beta, every one of you. चलो, now focus. ठीक है, चलो आ जाओ. नाउ एनआरवी for WIP. Suppose selling price of finished goods is 150 rupees. Okay. And cost for this is 100 rupees. Cost of manufacturing. Cost of manufacturing. And selling expenses, we need 20 rupees. Selling expenses means marketing expenses. So normally, while calculating cost, we consider 100 rupees. Okay. Selling expenses is never considered in the cost valuation. Only material, labor, factory overhead, direct expenses will be considered. Administration, general expenses and selling expenses are never considered. So selling expenses is 150 minus 20. Net realizable value is 130. See, selling price is 150. Out of that, you have to incur selling expenses. So net means difference. Realizable value. So in my hand, I'm getting only 130 rupees. Net price, not 150 I'm getting. This is a selling price. Minus selling expense is 130 rupees. WIP is, this is 130. But suppose, now assume, till now, you incur 70 rupees expenses. And in future, you are going to incur 30 rupees expenses. Why? Because your product is not ready. It's a WIP. When your product is ready, it is 100 rupees cost. When your product is not ready, it's 70 plus future expenses 30 and selling expenses, assume 20. Now, what is the net realizable value? In that case, net realizable value is 150 minus future expenses. You will deduct it from 150 minus selling expenses 20. So 150 minus 50, 100. And now you will compare with 70 rupees cost of manufacturing. 100 or 70, whichever is lower. So NRV for WIP, NRV for WIP is selling price. Realizable value means selling price minus further processing cost, that is future cost. Further processing cost is a future cost minus selling expenses. 20 rupees will be WIP. And here in case of finished goods, it is 150 is the realizable value minus selling expenses 20. So it will be 130. And here it is 150 WIP के लिए minus 30 minus 20. It will be 100 rupees. So extra future cost will be deducted from WIP. What is the new thing? Extra future cost. Because future में जो cost आएगा, that will be not added to cost, but it is deducted from selling price. It is not added to cost. So here cost will be 100 and here cost will be 70, whichever is lower. So 170, 70 or 100 ये record होगा as compared to 130 and 100. Got the concept? एक बार हिंदी में समझ लो. नेट रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू में क्या कैलकुलेशन होता है बेटा? एक WIP और फिनिश गुड्स. WIP और फिनिश गुड्स में क्या डिफरेंस है? WIP मतलब जो माल पूरा तैयार नहीं हुआ है. जो माल तैयार नहीं हुआ तो उसके ऊपर का जो भी फ्यूचर प्रोसेसिंग कॉस्ट होगा, फ्यूचर में फर्दर प्रोसेसिंग कॉस्ट जो भी लगेगा वो आपको कॉस्ट में ऐड ना करते हुए सेल्स में से माइनस करना है. तो मैंने एक एग्जांपल दिया कि एक प्रोडक्ट है जिसको आप 150 में बेचना चाहते हो, तो सेलिंग प्राइस उसका हुआ 150 रुपया, पर उसके लिए मार्केटिंग कॉस्ट आपको 20 रुपया करनी पड़ेगी, तो आपके हाथ में 130 रुपया ही आएगा. हालांकि आपकी कॉस्ट 100 रुपीज है. तो ये आपका डिफरेंस है 100 और 130, ये फिनिश गुड्स का. बट सपोज वही प्रोडक्ट को यदि आपने आज तक 70 रुपए का खर्चा किया और 30 रुपए का खर्चा करना बाकी है, तो वो आपको माइनस करना है WIP में से. सो WIP में हम लोग, अभी मेरा खर्चा वैसे 100 रुपया होगा, पर रुको, 100 रुपया कब होगा? जब ये फ्यूचर में 30 रुपया मैं ऐड करूंगा. पर ये फ्यूचर की कॉस्ट हम लोग NRV कैलकुलेट करते टाइम उसमें से माइनस करते, ना कि कॉस्ट में ऐड की जाती है, ना कि कॉस्ट में ऐड की जाती है. एवरीवन इज क्लियर विद द कॉन्सेप्ट? एवरीवन इज क्लियर विद द कॉन्सेप्ट बेटा? यस. नाउ while calculating cost, some part is excluded. Some part is excluded. Actually ये slide ऊपर लेना चाहिए था. ये जो slide है ना, cost of inventories में से exclusion, ये NRV के ऊपर लेना, पहले लेना exclusion. So see, there are 6 cost. Direct material, अच्छा ठीक है. Direct material, direct labor, direct expenses, factory overhead, administration overhead, and selling and distribution overhead. तो उसमें से administration overhead and selling and distribution overhead are not considered. अच्छा वो स्लाइड भी नहीं बनाया हुआ क्या रे? एक्सपेंसेस को हम लोग 6 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करते थे. डायरेक्ट लेबर, डायरेक्ट एक्सपेंसेस, फैक्ट्री ओवरहेड, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ओवरहेड एंड सेलिंग एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ओवरहेड. उसमें से एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन एंड सेलिंग एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन को कट करो एंड टिक करो रॉ मटेरियल, वेजेस, डायरेक्ट एक्सपेंस और फैक्ट्री ओवरहेड. ये चारों कंसिडर करते. आई थिंक फाउंडेशन में स्लाइड है वो, फाउंडेशन के बैच में स्लाइड है वो. यस, तो ध्यान दीजिए. Abnormal production cost. Now, what is abnormal versus normal? Try to understand. Normal, suppose I am incurring 1000 cost. And in this 1000, assume I will consider 1100 for calculation के लिए. एक second ना. 90. अच्छा 1170. 700. 11700 is my assume cost. And in that, normally I am producing 100 units. Normally I am producing 100 units. Without any tension, I am producing 100 units. So what is my cost per unit? I will consider 117 per unit cost. Very simple. Assume in 11700 units cost, I am producing 100 units, but wait, out of that 100 units, 10 units are not in good condition to sell it. So now 100 minus 10. I will do minus 10 only if this is normal loss. And I will record one inventory at rupees 130. 1 unit per unit cost will be 130. When I can deduct it from the denominator, you can see price is changing. From 117, you have changed to 130 rupees. When you can do this, if you anticipate, for example, if you bought some mangoes, okay, 12 mangoes, but you are aware that out of 12 mangoes, 2 mangoes will be not in good condition. Okay, you cannot eat that mangoes, rotten mangoes. Okay, so that is called as normal loss. You already expected. So in businessman also expects, no? Businessman knows what is his normal loss. For example, I'm producing daily 5 kgs pav bhaji. But out of that 5 kilo pav bhaji, I know half kilo pav bhaji won't be sold because of market demands. Okay. So that lot is not getting finished. It is called as normal loss. Okay, 0.5 kg. I am going to throw it. So that is called as normal loss. But above normal loss, if you are incurring any extra loss, it is called as abnormal loss. For example, suppose if I have 12 units are abnormal loss, but I won't consider 12. I will consider 10 only. I will deduct only normal loss. Sir, what is the treatment of abnormal loss in that case? See, now 2 mangoes or 2 units are in the rotten condition. So 11,700 is my expenditure. See how to do accounting, that I am telling you. 11,700 is my expenditure. Correct? Now assume out of this I sold how many units? Assume I sold 70 units. and I left with the closing stock of not 30 units. I should left with the closing stock of 30 units. But I left with only 12 units beta is my loss. So I left with only 30 minus 12 means I left with 18 units. Okay, so 70 and this is a cost of 100 units. Normal loss, I will record only 10 units as a normal loss but having no value. And abnormal loss, I will record with 2 units. See, one more time. What is my total cost? No one will tell you the accounting. See, units. 100 units I bought. And what is my total cost? Total cost is, I have done 11,700 ka costing. By sales. How many units I sold? 70 units. Let it be at whatever the price. It should be greater than 130. So I sold it at 150 rupees. Now the question is, I left with closing stock of 18 units. How much? 18 units. 18 units I will record at what price? Then there will be a loss. Loss of how many units? 12 units. Correct? Out of that, normal loss is 10 units. And abnormal loss is 2 units. Now remember, should I record 18 units at 117 rupees? Wrong. I will record 18 units at 130 rupees. At 130 rupees. My GP will be rupees and 10 units I will record at dash. Why I will record it at dash? Because I already deducted from sales value, from my total quantity. Total quantity already deducted. So don't consider the value. You already deducted and you inflated the price. And 2 units I will record at 130 into 2, that is 260 rupees. 2 units I won't consider in the closing stock valuation. In closing stock valuation, I deducted only 10. And extra 2 units which I lost, I won't deduct it from. So 10 units cost is already, which is a normal loss, is already deducted while calculating the closing stock value. So I will consider 130 rupees. But for abnormal loss, I will not deduct that 2 units from this calculation. Why I won't deduct it? Because I won't consider in the cost per unit calculation abnormal loss. And second effect of this abnormal loss in P&L account, debit side, 2 units into 30, 60 rupees. Abnormal loss valuation. Trading credit, P&L debit. This is how you have to understand normal versus abnormal. देखो नॉर्मल लॉस जो होता है वो हम लोग क्या करते हैं, नॉर्मल लॉस वी डिडक्ट इट फ्रॉम, कहां से डिडक्ट करते हैं नॉर्मल लॉस? फ्रॉम टोटल यूनिट्स, 100 यूनिट्स में से माइनस कर देंगे. तो मेरी जो प्राइस 117 थी ना वो ऑलरेडी बढ़ चुकी है, मैंने नॉर्मल लॉस ऑलरेडी कंसिडर कर दिया, तो मेरी प्राइस 130 पे आ गई. आया समझ में? 130 पे आया. बेटा साई किरण, क्लोजिंग स्टॉक शुड बी लेस देन कॉस्ट. नो 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 माय डियर. No, my dear, I will record it at 130. You are not applying the principle of cost or NRV. This is not NRV 130 rupees. This is a cost per unit. Sai Kiran Kumar, your concept is not clear. I'm not talking about 117 and 130, which is lower. This is not NRV. 117 I won't consider in case of normal loss. Okay, normal loss may we never consider 117. We have to deduct normal loss from the 100 units. But don't deduct abnormal loss. Don't deduct abnormal loss. So therefore, abnormal loss is excluded while cost per unit calculation. Now everyone is clear. Everyone knows that normal loss is deducted. but they are not aware about our trading and P&L. That's why, beta, I prepared this trading and P&L. I will record my closing stock at 130. I will record only quantity column for normal loss, 10 units, but value will be 0. But abnormal loss, 2 units at 130, I will record over here, but there is no recovery. Therefore, P&L account debit side. So trading credit, P&L debit. You already done for goods lost by fire. Goods lost by fire, goods destroyed, goods distributed as free sample. So these are abnormal losses. These are abnormal losses. And normal loss will inflate your price. Why I want to tell you, you are not recording your inventory at 117. You are recording inventory at 130 rupees. So students, please try to understand this concept. Very important. So my loss will be, why I can teach you this concept, because I am a teacher of costing also. Therefore, I am aware about this normal versus abnormal. Process costing. In process costing, we have this topic. So 100 units one more time. At what price we have taken? Yes, 11,700. Out of that, how many goods units are sold? 70. So I should left with the closing stock of 30, but I left with the 18 closing stock. So what is my loss? My loss will be 18 units. 12 units. So 12 units, but will be divided in two parts: normal, abnormal. Normal, I will consider 10. But 10 ke liye beta, there will be zero value. And 2 units, I will calculate at 130 rupees, 260. And 18 units also at 130 rupees. इजी है, इजी बेटा एकदम. हाँ जी. Now, storage cost. You have problem on abnormal and normal loss calculation, huh, beta? You have one problem on abnormal and normal loss calculation. Yes. Storage cost. How many of you have already studied S2 before? S2. Frankly बताइए हाँ बेटा. मनोज बोल रहा है मी. तनु बोल रही है मैंने, किरण मिश्रा जी ने पढ़ा हुआ था. Only those students who already studied. Okay. 3 ही लोग थे. ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. पूजा भी थी. Yes, I will interact with you all after the lecture. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा टाइम बचाएं. Storage cost. Now storage cost is beta divided in two parts: normal storage, abnormal storage. Sorry, not storage cost is not normal, abnormal. Storage of raw material, WIP, and finished goods. See, storage cost, why it is not considered? Yes, any one of you know the logic why we don't consider storage cost? Why we don't consider storage cost? हाँ रश्मि जी बोलिए.
Sir, because of storage cost not necessary to inventory and present in or
No. Try to understand. When you incur storage cost after production, okay, after production beta, after completion of the production, you incurred storage cost. You want to sell goods. At that time, you kept that material or finished goods in storage. So storage cost is after production. And after production, it is not the part of inventory valuation. Once you produce goods, after that, if you are incurring any expenses, it's of no use. And therefore, we ignore selling and distribution cost. We won't consider it in the valuation. But wait, but if you are storing raw material and WIP, then it will be included. Therefore, it is considered unless production requires. For raw material and WIP, if you are storing it in the warehouses, that cost will be considered. But finished goods cost won't be considered. Understood? So raw material is before production. You need it in the production. WIP you need in the production. So that cost, that storage cost will be considered, but finished goods storage cost won't be considered. Administration overheads. These are general expenses. So general expenses we never consider. and selling and distribution overheads are also not considered. For example, I will give you an example, so it will be easy. Raw material 1000 rupees, wages 1000 rupees, direct expenses 500 rupees, factory overhead 500 rupees, administration overhead 2000 rupees, and selling and distribution overhead 1000 rupees. So what is my total cost? 1 plus 1 plus 500 plus 500 plus 2 plus 2, 3 और 2 5 और 1 6, 6000. 6000 is my total cost. Now out of 6000, I produced 2000 units. So my cost per unit will be rupees 3 is not considered in the inventory valuation. I know your cost per unit is 3 rupees. But while doing inventory valuation, I won't consider 6000, but I will consider up to factory overheads, because administration overhead is general in nature, so not considered, and selling and distribution overhead is for selling goods, therefore it is not considered. So my inventory valuation will be 1000 plus 1000 plus 500. It will be 3000 divided by 2000. So my amount will be 1.5 for closing stock value. Now you got the concept. Easy. So I should not consider this value in the valuation. See, while calculating total cost, you will consider. But while calculating inventory value, you won't consider. While calculating inventory value, you won't consider. Exchange difference is also not considered. For example, I bought goods at 100 rupees and now prices of settlement price is 105. When I bought goods from market, foreign market, it is $1 100 rupees. But when I'm settling this dollar, I have to pay 105. So 5 rupees is my loss, is not considered. Is not considered in the inventory valuation. Cost formulae, already you understood it in the costing. What is FIFO method and what is weighted average? So I'm not going to explain it over here. And non-historical method, there are two methods. Non-historical, adjusted selling price. We are going to see the problem. What is the adjusted selling price? Retailer uses it. Retailer uses it. GP, he will deduct from that selling price minus GP. And standard method, we don't have a problem on this. Standard cost method means once you decide the inventory cost, and that will be permanent. There will be, you don't consider small fluctuation. So some manufacturer can use standard cost, but this is not the promoted cost. This is when there is no more fluctuation, then this will be the cost you will consider. And if goods are not interchangeable मतलब mix होना. If they cannot mix, then better you will consider tag prices, specific identification method. That is a tag on this. So yes, specific identification method you will consider. We are going to solve some problems based on this cost formula. And last part is a disclosure. So in financial statement, you have a disclosure like accounting policies adopted in measuring inventory, total carrying amount of inventory with a classification. Classifications are normally raw material classification, WIP classification, finished goods, stock in trade, stores and spares, loose tools, and others category. I will show you one report of inventory valuation. See, you can see this inventories. You can check how it is disclosed. Inventories are stated at lower cost of and net realizable value. The cost is calculating weighted average method. So you have to mention method. Cost comprises expenditure in common in the normal course of business to bring the inventory at present location. So we already done this. Wherever applicable, overheads are based on the normal level of capacity. Fixed overhead hota hai. And net realizable value, yes, these wordings are also now understandable. Selling price less estimated cost of completion and sale. Obsolete, slow moving and defective inventories are identified from time to time and provision is made. Now what is the concept? We will see it in the next lecture. Obsolete, slow moving and defectives. एक रिपोर्ट में एंड इन्वेंटरीज की कैटेगरीज भी होती है. इन्वेंटरी की कैटेगरीज नोट्स में, बेटा एक नोट्स में ना इन्वेंटरी की कैटेगरीज डाल देना. You can check inventories categories. Notes. हाँ जी, ये देखो how inventories are categorized. इधर गया ये एक S2 में, उसके बाद डाल देना हर कंपनी का हाँ जी इन्वेंटरी यू कैन सी रॉ मटेरियल WIP, finished goods, stock in trade, stores and spares, and intermediates, tissue papers and paper bonds. So these are the categories. So you don't have to mention only total inventory. You have to divide it in raw material, WIP, finished goods, stock in trade, stores and then spares and intermediates. So these are the disclosure. You can see here, and even goods in transit are also separately disclosed. So these are the common classification. So every annual report in notes to accounts, in asset side, you have this classification. Got the concept? So friends, we have finished with the accounting standard 2. Some parts are new parts, beta. Yes, those who already studied. कौन थे वो? पूजा. Yes. रश्मि. Yes, बेटा. रश्मि.
यस सर।
क्या नई चीजें थी जो अभी आपको समझ में आई बेटा? बहुत अच्छे से। आपने मेरा ही सेशन देखा था कि किसी और का देखा था?
सर आपका ही देखो।
अच्छा, तो और ज्यादा क्या क्लैरिटी हुई मेरे सेशन के, ये सेशन के बाद?
सर इस सेशन में
क्या सब कुछ पता ही था आपको?
नहीं सर, वो जो नहीं बता पाई थी ना मैं, बस।
क्या कुछ नई चीजें आपको समझी रश्मि जी? पूजा.
यस सर।
यस बेटा पूजा, क्या नया चीजें समझा बेटा आपको?
सर
नाउ यू
एक्चुअली
कैन.
सब कुछ रिवाइज हो गया, एक तो मतलब प्रॉपर वे में। दूसरा सर ये जो नॉर्मल लॉस वाला था, इसके अंदर क्लोजिंग इन्वेंट्री, ये वाला टॉपिक है ना, मेरे को और ज्यादा अच्छे से समझ में आया, मतलब पूरा क्लैरिफाई हो गया अब।
वेरी गुड.
जो नॉर्मल लॉस वाला था, नॉर्मल लॉस, एबनॉर्मल लॉस, अब मुझे ये पता चला कि हाँ ये मतलब प्रोडक्ट की कॉस्ट में ही ऐड हो जाता है, जो नॉर्मल लॉस होता है वो।
अच्छा, ये आपको एक नया समझा. वेरी गुड. तो ये तो पता ही होना चाहिए था. ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. किसका मेरा ही लेक्चर देखा था आपने या किसी और का?
नहीं सर, आपका ही देखा था।
अच्छा, वापस से रिवाइज किया. ओके,
यस, मतलब सब चीज रिवाइज हो गया बहुत अच्छे से दोबारा।
बहुत बढ़िया बेटा. यस किरण मिश्रा जी, आपको क्या नया समझा?
सर मुझे ये एनआरवी और मार्केट वैल्यू का क्लियर हुआ। फेयर वैल्यू और नेट रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू का डिफरेंस।
चलो, बस वही एक नया था, बाकी सब
और
पुराना था.
नहीं सर, हाँ, और बाकी सब रिवाइज हो गया,
वो ये NRV जैसे इनको नया समझा
अच्छे
क्या?
से
हाँ पे
रिवाइज हो गया।
अच्छे से हो गया, अभी दिमाग में फिट बैठ गया पूरा. एक एक
हाँ
पॉइंट
सर,
मैंने एक्सप्लेन किया है, एक
एक्सक्लूजन,
एक पॉइंट एकदम
यस सर,
डिटेल में.
सारा पॉइंट्स अच्छे से
Now,
क्लियर
if
हो
you
गया है।
read study mat also, if you see any annual report of any company, you are able to understand the concept. You can apply that concept in real life also. तो study mat का कोई भी पेज होगा, now you can easily understand it.
यस
चलो,
सर,
yes.
थैंक
चलो
यू सर।
कीजिए बेटा. थैंक यू, थैंक यू, थैंक यू. चलो लीजिए स्क्रीनशॉट्स फटाफट. हार्दिक डन बोल बेटा फटाफट. चलो आ जाओ. हार्दिक रेज योर हैंड. और डन बोला अभी.
डन सर.
Screenshot 1 done. Screenshot 2.
डन सर.
Screenshot 3.
डन सर.
This is the example I have given. Replacement price only for understanding purpose.
डन सर.
4. 5.
डन सर.
6.
डन सर।
7,
डन सर।
8,
डन सर।
9, एक सेकंड हाँ,
डन सर।
adjusted selling price method I will explain it in the next class. S25 के ये नहीं दिए थे क्या मैंने 100 पेजेस बेटा हर्षित
सर
हार्दिक?
AS25 के तो दे दिए थे सर, वो डिसकंटिन्यूइंग वाला का जो क्या कहते हैं बुक के क्वेश्चंस थे वो नहीं दिया था।
कौन से क्वेश्चंस?
बुक वाले जो क्वेश्चंस थे TY के एंड इलस्ट्रेशंस
मॉड्यूल के नहीं दिए क्या?
हाँ वो नहीं दिए थे, बाकी तो सारा
ले
दे
ले
दिया।
चल ये ले ये ले S24 स्क्रीनशॉट 1,
डन सर।
2,
डन सर।
3, एक सेकंड हाँ, 3,
डन सर।
4,
डन सर।
5,
डन सर।
6,
डन सर।
7,
डन सर।
एंड 8।
डन सर।
हार्दिक पूरा नोटबुक तैयार है बेटा?
हाँ जी सर।
ओके, नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में आई एम गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन यू accounting standard 2 के questions in the second half and PP in the first half, but I want everyone will do the revision and they will explain this. Okay, कुछ comments है तो बता दीजिए बेटा, कुछ तो remarks देना था। आज का क्लास ये ज्यादा मस्त समझ में आया क्योंकि मैंने ज्यादातर टॉपिक आपसे फाउंडेशन में ही पढ़ लिए थे, इन्वेंटरी चैप्टर भी, और आपसे स्लाइड राइट एंड रॉन्ग टिक मार्क के रहे थे, वो फाउंडेशन के मैन्युफैक्चरिंग अकाउंट वाले पीपीटी से अच्छे से पढ़ा दिया था। ओके, थैंक यू सर। ओके, नीतीश जी बोल रहे, अमेजिंग सेशन, थैंक यू बेटा। आयशा, वेरी नाइस सेशन, कॉस्ट का पार्ट भी क्लियर हो गया, वेरी गुड, कॉस्टिंग का पार्ट भी क्लियर हो गया, थैंक यू। चलो तांबेश्वरी जी, थैंक यू बेटा। सो नाउ please be serious for next accounting standard based standards. Those students who join now, don't miss a single session. अभी अच्छे से करना, आपका बाद में भी बहुत अच्छे से हो जाएगा। थैंक यू, टेक केयर, बाय बाय, गुड
सर
डे। हाँ जी बोलिए
सर, AS20 का डाउट था, पूछ लूं?
बेटा। आज नेक्स्ट सेशन है मेरा, 9:50 हुए हैं। ओके, और तू सिर्फ मुझे मैसेज करके रखना इधर,
कहाँ पे सर? चैट?
परसों स्टार्टिंग में, मैं ब्रेक में देख लूंगा तेरा ये। ओके,
ठीक है सर,
चलो,
ठीक है सर।
थैंक यू, टेक केयर, बाय बाय।